the letter L.
This is the whole podcast.
It's been a while.
Welcome to Precisely.
We need Aaron Lewis to sing the Precisely theme song.
Oh,
Precisely.
we could definitely pay him for that. How much do you think he would be?
I don't know. Does he have a cameo?
Probably like $5.
Except we probably have to pay him a lot to sing.
But if it's not his own song,
I
thinking
don't know.
500.
I haven't heard he's the nicest person ever.
Set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
Help us finish this episode. It requires Aaron Lewis to sing the
Yes.
Precisely theme song.
That sounds good.
Oh, God.
All
All right.
3 best friends.
3 best friends drinking beer. How's it going, everyone? This is Precisely Podcast, a podcast about beer and video games. I'm your host, Bo, and with me, as always, we got Kelly.
Hello.
And we got Sam.
It's been a while.
We have been singing that song for a while now, and now we are finally recording. How are you guys? It's been a while.
It's actually been a while.
It's been a minute.
But doing good, you know. I was saying before we opened the mics, just watching time kind of fly by.
Yeah.
That's exactly it.
Hanging on for the ride.
I didn't realize it's been 3 months.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it, but like the last 3 months really went for every single one of us. I feel like we were all very busy.
Very busy.
Indeed.
With lots of fun things and just life in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's get to it. I'm thirsty. I'm already drinking a Rolling Rock, but
Cheater.
you know, that's just to quench my palate essentially.
Yes.
It's like my water.
Yeah, that's your water between wine tastings. You swash and you spit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, so today, our episode, the beer that we're drinking, we have an awesome friend, Mike, the owner of Root Down Brewing Company. It's in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. You can find him on Instagram. It's Root Down Brewing Co. They have a really sweet little brewery I actually got to visit, which I'll go into here in a little bit. But Mike is actually a customer of mine and introduced himself.
Oh, cool.
One day while he was in. I just so happened to be wearing a Trogs hat, and he was like, oh, I was just at Trogs. And we got to talking beer, and he was like, yeah, I actually brew beer. And I was like, no way, I'm actually kind of brewing a beer myself. So then we got on talking beer. He's set me up with a couple beers for us to try, and we wanted to thank them and give them a little shout out because it is really a cool brewery and a cool couple of beers.
In a cool town, too. I love Phoenixville.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We'll be talking about Phoenixville a little later, right?
Yes, we will. All right, so the first one that Mike set us up here with, it's called Goon. It's a dark lager. It is 5.2%. It doesn't really say any text on the label, which I'm cool with, but it's just like this black, and then it's just eyes, and then the teeth, and there's one gold tooth, and it says Goon.
Looks like half the customers that come into the pawn shop, honestly.
Yeah, he's like in a ski mask, yeah. What is up with like teenagers just like wearing ski masks? I saw somebody riding a bike the other day on like 90 degrees out, like through town, and he was like fully 16 years old, but like wearing a ski mask.
Yeah,
and
I don't like that.
I'm not a fan.
No, I'm not a fan of that. But isn't drinking Goon an Australian thing?
I don't
they
know.
say that for
I
like
have no idea.
Isn't all of our Australian audience out there?
Yeah.
Let us know. But
The one
I'm
of
pretty
you.
sure
Yeah, it might be one of you out there.
all fives of you,
The retro gamer,
the
please
fan base,
let me know.
the
Yeah.
fan base in
Yeah.
Australia. We have to
Yeah.
call it a fan. But no, I'm pretty sure if you're drinking Goon in Australia, you're drinking like cask wine or something like
Yeah,
that.
I don't know. Well, anyway,
It smells better than that. is my
it's a
point.
super dark beer. Obviously, it's a dark lager, but it's a very dark. You would assume I would be drinking maybe a stout with this color beer, just looking at it.
Yeah. It
Smelling
smells
it.
really good.
It smells like a lager, but it also
Clarity's a little better
smells
though.
darker.
Than,
Yeah,
than
it
a
is a little
stout.
It smells a little woody.
But if I was across the bar from you, I'm like, oh, he's drinking a stout, or he's, you know.
It has a stout profile almost, but clean like a lager.
Yes,
It makes
it's
me
got
want to
nice
take a
clean
road
finish.
trip to Root Down to buy a whole case of this in like October.
He said that
I'm
this
all
is
about
one of
this.
his. When he picked these out, he told me that one was one of his favorites.
Yeah.
that they make.
That
And I
time of
was-
year is like my favorite time of year for this kind of beer, but this is delicious.
So
This
this
is
was kind of.
really
I was
good.
gonna say this is almost like not similar, but like color wise, and then like kind of some of it reminds me of that Rock and Bones that we like from Love Drafts.
Yes.
yes,
very
also
similar.
one of my faves.
But that one's like got more of a nuttier body, and then this is just like kind of a crisper, lighter.
Yeah, very
finish.
light body. 5.2%.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks worse than it is, I guess, as you would say. It's
Yeah.
really not a gnarly beer, but it's good.
I like it.
Yeah.
and I dig his artwork.
Yeah, I like that too.
Yeah, for sure. That's a huge part of the brewery. I took some pictures so I could show you guys while I talked about it.
You sent me one, and it had like a bunch of street art / graffiti.
Yeah.
And I love that.
So they're at 1 North Main Street in Phoenixville. If you're familiar with the area.
Is that like the road in Phoenixville
I don't
that most
know.
things
Okay,
are on?
so when I pulled in, it was nighttime, so I'm not really sure. And also, I don't know how often this happens, but when I pulled in I went after too many games because it's 3 miles from the Expo
Yeah.
Center. And I pulled in and like roads were closed off and people were like drinking in the streets and there was like parties happening. I don't know if that happens like every Saturday night.
So
or like,
Phoenixville has things like that often. My one
Okay.
friend used to live on Main Street in Phoenixville,
okay.
and occasionally I would go down there to hang out, and there would be like almost like some people have like, what is it, like
It's like a block party.
third
but,
Thursday
yeah.
or whatever. I think I want to say it was like second Saturday or something like that.
I'm sure it
maybe.
might have been something, but it totally
But-
threw me for a loop because I remember when we were in Phoenixville last time, which was 2019 for Too Many Games, and we
Yeah.
went and stopped at another brewery, which there's like 16 in Phoenixville.
Sure.
So it's like, I don't even remember what it was.
Okay, I'm sorry. It's Bridge Street that I'm thinking of
Okay.
in Phoenixville, where the Colonial is.
Okay.
Like the big movie theater where The Blob was filmed, that everybody knows that's into those kind of
Yes.
movies. But that's where my friend lived. But
Okay.
yeah, all sorts of like record stores and
Yeah, a lot of cool
breweries,
stuff.
all having a lot of cool things going on. Love that town.
Yeah, no, it was a cool little spot, but I don't know in relation just because it was dark. But like you roll up and it's just like this like old building,
Yeah.
and they just kind of took it over. So interior wise, like there was a ton of street art. Like I sent you this one, I think it was.
Yeah,
But
one
this
of
is
those.
this is the back room that they have.
Nice.
So it's like this like concrete floor. There's like picnic tables. They've got like projector screens and stuff, but then it's just graffiti art on the
Okay.
walls back there. It looks really, it was a big, people were playing cornhole inside. Like it was just a really big open air space that you could chill out in. But then they had like a ton of art. Like he's very art forward, I feel. Like with the curation of the brewery. So like these are, I believe, all local or
Oh, those are cool.
but like pop culture art,
Yeah.
like really poppy. Like there's an Optimus Prime and like there was a Princess Peach.
I saw that, one. I
That
love that
yeah.
one.
Oh, well,
Nice.
I took that so we can
Yeah.
use it for here. So we'll share that one for sure. I love that.
Are
piece.
they for sale, the
Yes,
art? Okay,
they
cool.
are. Yeah. So there's like there's like a Popeye.
So
and
it's
like
local artisans and stuff.
I believe so.
Okay.
They all have cards that say like I like that one a lot.
Love that one.
There's a little Slimer
Yeah.
from Ghostbusters, but he was like kind of coming off, like he's
Yeah.
3D off.
As he should be.
Yes. But yeah, it like here actually you can see it on this, but it like says who it is, their phone number, a website, email, and I believe an Instagram tag. So you would be able to contact them if you wanted to buy. But it was a really cool, like...
Oh, so they don't do any of the sales?
I don't think so. I think they just house.
That's cool. 'Cause when I was at 0 Day, we took... I think 10 or 20% or something, just to
yes. There might be something just for housing it, but I have no idea.
Yeah, that's really cool though.
But yeah, and then there was just weird shit. Like there's just this old abandoned elevator shaft, and he just
with a guy in it,
just like a mannequin, just chilling. I don't know. It was just weird stuff cool. like that. Like the bathrooms were neon green or whatever.
All right.
But it was just a really cool spot, and I enjoyed it. I stopped in and I had a pint, and I wish I could have stayed longer, but I'd drive home and work the next day. So it was already 9:00. So
yeah,
couldn't stay too late. So I didn't fall asleep on the turnpike, but it was I really want to go back. I want to try their food. Their menu looked good.
I want to go with you.
Yeah.
It's only 10 minutes from my sister's house, so I'm always down for field trips out that way.
Yeah, we should definitely take a day and head over and hit there for sure. Maybe just walk around town, enjoy before we head back or whatever. Because it's an hour and a half.
Not even. Yeah.
It's not a bad trip.
So I went to school in Westchester, and that's only it's a little bit longer just because you're a little farther off the turnpike. Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
Great little town. Love Phoenixville.
Yeah, and like I said, when I put it into my GPS after the because he told me, he was like, when you're out this way, I was like, I come out that way once every year for sure, so I'll let you know. So I had texted him ahead of time, like, hey, I'm coming out for too many games. I'm at the Expo Center. He's like, sure, just hit me up. Come on over and see the brewery. So when I put it in my GPS, I'm expecting maybe we got to drive 5-10 miles or something. It was 3 miles away. I'm like, sweet.
I remember that last time I was at Too Many Games. Yeah. It being so close.
It was not far at all. Yeah. But once you get into the town itself, it's you're in. It's this cute.
Do you want to tell us about Too Many Games, since we're in that geographical area right now?
I will. I'll talk about it. Yeah, it was awesome. So if you haven't listened to a podcast before, or you haven't heard us talking about it, Too Many Games is a video game convention held in Oaks, Pennsylvania, which is outside of Philly area. And it's kind of a really big, I would almost say they try to make it the Tri-States bigger gaming convention, but a lot of people all from the East Coast will come up and go to that. And there was a lot of YouTubing personalities and people in the game industry, developers, and there was some voice actors and stuff that showed up. But then the main reason we go is the vendors.
Yeah.
Vendors from all over. I can't even tell you where they all come from, but they're mostly East Coast, but there's a lot of vendors, and they all bring the good shit.
Mm-hmm.
So this year was definitely bigger than last year.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, the last year we went, which was 2019.
Yeah.
So they didn't have it in 2020. 2021, they postponed it to October, and it was kind of, I think people were saying it felt rushed, or it wasn't as full.
Yeah.
In the events business, I can relate.
Right. Yeah.
Everything was feeling it out vendor-wise last year.
And they were also trying to be we want to have something, but we're still kind of in a COVID focused, stuff. So they were... I don't think it was as big as the normal one was. I don't think they had as many people coming.
Yeah.
But it still sounded like it was a good turnout. I know a lot of people that went that were collectors were complaining that the prices were way higher.
Mm-hmm. Surprise, surprise.
But we all kind of knew that with coming off of the prices of COVID, it was still going to be high,
So how were the prices this year? Because it seems like prices are high right now to a certain degree, or they were when you went.
Prices are high in general. Every time, I swear it gets I do this once a month, and I'm like, this game is $10, and it turns out it's $80, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So there was a lot of oh yeah, that game, and then I'm like, it's that much now. But then there was some stuff that it was why are you asking that much?
Yeah.
There was a lot of that. I saw a guy who had a copy of Wind Waker, just plain old Wind Waker, not the double.
Yeah, CIB.
On the GameCube. He wanted $220.
Yeah.
It's a $70 game.
Yeah, maybe $100.
maybe like very maybe 100,
Yeah.
but $220, like no,
It's definitely a $70 game.
yeah, it's not. It was just like that was like astronomical. It was like why, like the goal is to sell your product, you know. And I know that a lot of people charge a little bit more because people are going to haggle when you come in,
Yeah.
and we all do. So I kind of understand you might have to build that a little bit into your price. Like if it's a $20 game, you might want to ask 30 or 40 because they're probably going to come down to 30 anyway. You're going to ask you to take $10 off. So I kind of get that, but some of it was just like asinine, absolutely crazy.
Yeah, like I could buy a complete CIB. The second one on eBay is $80 right now.
Exactly. And there were a lot of things that people were like, I could buy this right now on eBay for way less. So it was like the prices were up because of the market. The prices were also up because I think people were pricing them because you were there.
Yeah.
And then I know that some of
Popular games hoping to get a chum that doesn't
Yeah.
look at eBay or something.
right, or doesn't know what they do. They just wandered into them.
Yeah.
But then you've got like the good stuff. You know what I mean? Like you've got the good stuff. Like my friend Cody got a copy of Lunar 2 complete in box with the medallion and everything like that came with it. And it was like, sure, you could probably buy it online for like $350 and they were asking $400 or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, but you're not going.
Wait, it goes for that much? Lunar 2?
The one with the medallion.
The big box, PS1.
Yeah. I think.
No.
Maybe it was Lunar 1 then. I don't remember which one it
Okay.
was. But either
Collector's
way,
edition.
it was that
Price charting puts it at like 190.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know which one it was. One of the more expensive Lunar games. I thought
Yeah.
it was that one. But maybe I'm wrong because I wasn't really paying attention. I wasn't buying it. But like, you know, we looked at it and we were like, well, you could buy it right now for like $50 less, or you can get it here. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to be able to touch that copy.
The medallion's hard to find.
Right. Exactly. Stuff like that. Like, you're not going to be able to really see that game often. So
Yeah.
to pay like a $20 upcharge or whatever.
Sort of a roll of the dice on that kind of stuff. Because some people, it's like you came out to the convention, so you deserve a break.
Yes.
For other people, it's that philosophy. So it's kind
Yeah.
of hard to.
It is. It's a
Like-
weird thing.
Like you already spent what? How much money is it to get in? 30,
So-
$40?
Well, yeah. Now Saturday passes are like
Yeah,
$50.
so you have to equate.
Wow.
You have to equate that ticket price into everything. you
Just to
buy,
get
too.
in, $50.
Saturdays. Yeah. Saturday was a 50.
I mean, I know it's a fantastic convention. I just know,
It's
what
expensive.
I know what I'm charging people to get into day-long events right now, and it's
Right.
15, 10
Yeah.
kind of.
I think the
situation.
3-day pass is like 75.
Yeah.
So you're really like, if you're able to go for 2 days, that's your best
Yeah.
option. But yeah, the Saturday is always the most
No,
expensive.
I
day.
understand. They got to make their nut somewhere.
And they definitely did. It was packed.
Yeah.
It was absolutely
Good for them.
packed. Now they didn't, like, as far as COVID protocols, they said that they were requiring masks, but there was still a ton of people that were either vending and had them down or just completely nixed them once they got in the door. There's always going to be that. I wore mine all day. It was fine.
Yeah.
If they're asking, I'll always
Right.
respect it. But
Exactly.
yeah, at this point,
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't control anybody else, but I'll respect the rule. But yeah, I have not been around that many people
In a while.
in 3
Yeah.
years easily. And I don't even know if it was that crowded in 2019. It felt so crowded.
Yeah.
Like it felt like there were so many people. So when I showed up, I usually I think in 2019 we came, and because I had a 3-day pass, I already had my pass or something, and I got in at like 10:30 and was in the arcade, and then we were able to just get in at 11.
Yeah.
I was expecting to kind of do a similar thing. Maybe I'd have to wait. I showed up at like 10:50. The line was around the building.
Holy shit.
Like when I got there, Tyler was like 20 minutes behind me or something. He walked in the door an hour and a half later.
Holy shit.
That's how long
Like
the line
security
to get in
screening
was.
kind of stuff?
Yeah, they were checking bags. First of all, they had one guy checking bags, which I don't know why.
Why?
And then you had to get your bag checked, and then you could get your badges. And then they were still checking bags for the people who were already and they were making them wait for people
did
who
it
were already
wrong.
badged. It was really bad this year.
Yeah.
I
They
don't
did it
ever
wrong.
remember this being so bad.
Yeah.
But it was seriously, it was like an hour and a half.
Well,
until he got
besides
in.
all that, I mean, Was it fun?
Oh my God, it was a blast. I had so much fun.
Good.
I missed that convention so bad.
Yeah.
Like, I know we went before and we would get there at like 11 and then we'd kind of hang. We'd have lunch. We'd come back and hang a little bit. And then
Yeah.
we'd probably peace out around like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
I was there, like I said, like at 11. We got lunch at like 3 or 4. And then when we were like, okay, I guess we're done, it was 8:50
Wow.
p.m. Like, we closed that shit down. It was done at 9. Like, the vendor floor was done at 9. We were there all day. There was so much to look at.
Yeah.
And, like, I didn't even go to the arcade room, and I didn't even like look in the
wow.
back. We were just on the vendor floor.
Wow.
Yeah, it was.
Did you see Mesmer on there?
No, I missed Ken.
Oh,
I missed Ken, and
Did you see Retro Brews?
no, he was there Sunday.
Oh.
So I'll have to try to team up next year. But so I was hoping to see Ken because I ran right to Sheem Star at Forgotten Freshness because I brought him a chocolate milk.
And milk spoils, so
Yeah,
that makes
so
sense.
I wanted to get it to him fast. I
Yeah.
had it in a cooler in my car, so I ran right to him.
Yeah.
So that was my first stop, and he was like, "Oh, I just saw Ken. He's here somewhere." I'm like, "Great, I'll see him at
Mm-hmm.
some point." I didn't see him, so I don't know, but I did see a lot of other people. Obviously, I went with Tyler, Tyler's Game Room on Instagram.
What up, Tyler?
We love you, man. And
Miss you, man.
I hung out with my friend Cody too.
What up, Cody?
And his friend Snow.
Hi, Snow.
Like, Informer. You know, some matter of snow got away. I like it, boom, boom, down. 90s kids will know what I'm talking about.
I sorta know.
311ing over here.
No, there's a guy called Snow that has a song called Informer.
I don't remember that.
Informer. Biddy-biddy-biddy-boo, bow, bow.
exactly.
I don't remember that
I like it,
song.
boom, boom, down.
Oh wait,
I sort of remember that.
I kind of remember that part.
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Anyway.
No, so we just walked around like all of us pretty much all day. But then I ran into obviously, like I said, Sheem. I saw Brandy, Gamer Aimer.
Oh, cool. She's
in
been doing
line.
some really cool content lately.
Yeah, good for
I've been
her.
enjoying her content. She just, not to go on a tangent, but
No,
to go on a
for it.
tangent.
Please. We're here to promote others.
You need to drink your beer too. Anyway, you've been talking too much. She's been like
Sorry,
picking
next.
out like exclusive different stuff out of her collection and like shining light on it, doing a video, like a short video on Instagram. And she had a Conker's Bad Fur Day press kit.
Oh, the one with the like medicine bottle.
It looks like a prescription
Yep.
on the outside. It's
Yeah.
a box, and then it opens up, and this was for just game store like managers to show off, I guess, the game. And it comes with the cartridge. It comes with a pill bottle full of jelly beans. It comes with like the prescription manual and stuff. But it was really cool. I've never seen one before. I was like, this is unique. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I saw
That's
somebody,
awesome.
somebody had one a couple years ago that shared it online. It's always cool when somebody has something that there's not many of.
Yeah, super unique. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I saw her in line like right when I got there, and I was like, oh, we talked real quick, and I was like, I'll probably see you inside, and I did not. I didn't realize
Yeah.
how busy it was.
That's crazy.
But yeah, I got to talk to her for a second, so it was good to see her. And then who else did I see? Weston. I don't know if you know Shadow Wee Dragon.
Yeah, I think we follow each other.
Yeah, he was there. Saw him. Nice kid. But we were talking for a while, and then
What does his name mean? Where does that come from?
I didn't ask.
Does he have a big Wii collection?
I actually don't know.
Is he a shadow or a dragon?
He is not a shadow or a dragon. He was just a regular human.
Does he
but-
celebrate the number of days that Earthbound has been available for the Nintendo
Yes.
Switch?
You know what? I haven't seen that motherfucker post.
He listens to the pod. He's like, shit, I got called out.
Yeah, someone told him.
They're talking shit on you.
Yeah.
No, but the other person I ran into, and I don't know if you listen, but I have an interesting ulterior connective besides being a gaming podcast. Still Loading podcast. Do you follow Josh at all?
I might.
Okay.
Yeah.
So actually, I didn't realize this until we were talking in person. One of his best friends is one of my best friend's fiance.
Oh, cool.
So I had no idea. But I ran into Josh on the floor. We were talking for a while. but maybe we'll do a little collab at some point.
That'd be cool.
But he's got a great podcast, and he does a lot of great content. So Still Loading Pod on Instagram, and you can find his podcast, Still Loading Podcast, I guess anywhere
on the everywheres.
podcasts are sold. Yeah. So
just video games, or do they do like
no, he does video games, but it's like more of he does like deep dives. He's also been doing like a Captain N rewatch. So he's watching like each episode of Nintendo's Captain N show and then like going over it and stuff. But very informative, and he'll have people on there sometimes, but it's basically just him.
Yeah, I'm looking at it too. It looks like he does some movies and stuff. Yep. Like his latest episode, he plays Ninja Turtles 2 on NES, but then he also talks about Secret of the Ooze.
Yeah, he does like tie-in stuff.
That's
but yeah,
fun.
it is like a primary focus of like video games and the history of whatever game it is. But
that's cool.
No, yeah, it was really cool, and it was cool to see everybody, and like it was just overall, it was awesome.
You were
It felt
texting
really
me
good.
while you were there.
Yeah.
Because I told you that I was trying to save money, and then I ended up driving to Lock Haven and buying a PS4 kiosk the same day.
Casual
budget.
It's like, yeah, trying to save my money. I won't be there this year. And then sure enough, like I was. And then I talked to someone on Facebook Marketplace, because I got a Facebook now through the pawn shop, and I joined a kiosk page and a Toyota Tacoma page. And so I see
Taco
things.
Man.
Yeah. And a Joe Rogan fan club page. No, that's
Joe Rogan?
Joe Rogan.
Okay.
You ever hear of him?
Yeah.
No,
I keep hearing about him.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
he's got a little podcast, I think.
You know what?
He's the guy from UFC.
I've honestly haven't listened to him probably since our last recording.
Wow.
Yeah.
Me neither.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm
sure it's good.
I've been on a streak for how long have we been doing
I've been on a
this?
streak for 33 years.
How long have we been doing
Honestly, I'm sure that I'm missing out on some great content, but I
sure
wouldn't
you're
know.
not.
Hey, but if you guys need a good podcast recommendation,
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
At least,
If you haven't heard.
probably the last episode was like 1625, 1625th episode. So
But so you went all the way to Lock Haven then?
yeah, and I got a PS4 kiosk.
So much more money.
And the
than
price of
going to
gas.
Too many games.
It was 2 hours. It was fine.
Tolls?
No tolls.
Nah, that's up 15.
I couldn't remember.
You got to see Shamokin Dam on your way
Ooh,
though.
that's always a fun
so it's
pass.
Yeah.
That's always a fun pass.
Stop for the Dunkin' Donut.
Yep.
Oh, the Dunkin' Donut's burnt down. You can't go to... Look that up on YouTube sometime.
The PS4 kiosk is cool. I picked it up for $300, which I thought was a very good deal.
Sick.
It has original Sony TV, has original VR camera, I guess it is. It has original remote and the original dummy console. So the PS4 console that you see in the kiosk is actually not a functional game system, which I guess they made for like thieves that would break
anti-theft
thing? Yeah.
that would break into a game
makes
store
sense.
and then want to break the plastic piece to get the system. Like, how many people fucking did that when you could just like...
Well, when the PS4 was harder to come by, that was
Maybe.
probably a thing.
Okay, maybe. So it's missing the sides. It's missing the actual console, which I can buy one of those easily. And it's missing the key. The guy said he had the key, but his 3-year-old son misplaced it. And I was like, well, if you find the key, let me know. But it's open. It's cool. It like slides open. It's really fucking cool how it's designed and made.
Sounds cool.
Looks similar to the PS2 kiosk, honestly, like shape-wise.
My favorite one.
But yeah, I like it. It's in my shed right now. So I want to make some room.
Your she shed.
My she shed outside.
Wish I had a she shed.
And yeah, hopefully squeeze it up there without Kayla sort of realizing that I squeezed it up there. But she went with me and she said it was cool. So
Does it matter if she knows that you put it up there? If she knows you
I
bought
told
it?
her, honestly, I told her yesterday because I was looking at the kiosk and I was like, so I think I'm going to bring it upstairs. And she's like, well, that means you got to buy me something. And I'm like,
Wow.
I'm like, pretty sure I bought you something in Lock Haven, but okay. Okay, I'm pretty sure we buy things every day, but okay. But all right.
You got something fun. She's got to get something fun. That's the reasoning.
Yeah. She got a really cute dress, so that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
So, yeah, another kiosk.
You know what? we looked like when we were there last, like you picked up that N64 kiosk. There was like nothing
Like
kiosk-y.
that. Yeah.
There wasn't a ton of like weird like kiosk-esque promotional stuff. Like I think I saw a DS, like one of those lights or like some clocks and stuff, but I didn't really see any like big signage or standees or anything wild like that I would have been like, oh, yo, check this out.
And if you did, it was probably going to be overpriced.
Right.
Because honestly, everyone wants to buy kiosks and lights right now.
I feel like that's an exception to what I was saying at like a trade show, so to speak, too, because like the kiosk world, it is kind of a Wild West comparatively, and if you have that stuff to sell at any kind of retail, it should come at a premium.
Well, with the price of everything else going up, kiosks have definitely gone up, but now with recession happening, which I want to talk to you guys about a little bit, the price of collectibles have definitely gone down. Not that much, but they have. So I've seen a lot of PS4 kiosks now on eBay, and people are like selling them for like $500 local pickup, which is a good price. Like there's a Death Stranding one right now in Virginia that I believe has a system in it for $500. So it's not a bad deal, but I'm sure that person wouldn't sell it if he didn't need the money right now, you know?
Right. Yeah. Desperate times, sell your kiosks.
Yeah. So it is a good time to look for bigger items. If you do have the extra income to spend, like to me, $300 was doable. And surprisingly enough, eBay sales have been like up for us a lot. So some people out there do have a lot of fucking money. I don't know.
Yeah. No,
there's always the exception in these situations. Yeah.
Always will be.
What's this beer that we're drinking now?
So, I was going to say, before we talk about anything else, let's segue through our beer. We've got Hoppy Digital 2.0. Again, this is all Root Down Brewing stuff today. They've supplied us with a couple brews.
It smells very hoppy.
Yeah, it's a double dry hopped, unfiltered pale ale. It's only 5.6 though. And yeah, it's got a cool little motherboardy looking hops on the can.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah,
circuitry in hops.
Yeah,
it sort of tastes like grapefruit.
It is a little. Yeah, it's definitely very citrusy.
Yeah,
makes sense.
No, I like this. It's a good one. It's like it's
very clean again.
Yeah, again, it's not like a standout like this is wild that they're using this in this, but it's a very good tasting.
I will note though,
2 out of 2 solid beers.
Yeah, absolutely.
The clarity on Bo's pour seems slightly clearer than.
Did you get that end piece?
No, but Kelly's and mine look similar.
Yeah, you definitely got a little less of the unfiltering.
Yeah.
Well,
which is fine.
Part. But no, yeah, it's good. I'm trying to remember the one that I had. Actually, I can probably look it up on my Untapped. The one that I had was there. I tried one that we didn't have on our list to do on the pod. Let me see what it was. I think it was something sneakers. New Kicks.
Oh yeah, okay.
New Kicks. It was a pale ale.
Okay.
And it was really good.
Definitely getting that like grapefruit.
Yeah.
Like sort of a bitter after, but citrusy.
It might be Citra hops or something.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's probably what it is. I don't
think it's
say
fruit,
which
like
one.
fruit or anything like that. It's not like it doesn't come across as sugary. It's just that nice like
right. It's the fruity
citrus vibe.
Hop. Yeah, or this citrus hop. Yeah. Oh, that was good. I like that one.
Yeah. I was in. We took a little vacation to Massachusetts, like less than a month ago, and went to Salem, Massachusetts for the first time.
Oh, I want to go there so bad.
It was cool.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I expected. It was very tourist trap like.
Oh, sure, yeah.
There was a lot of like just
witch burning.
No, we went to the Salem Witch Museum, and I thought it would be like, all right, we see like an old piece of wood, you know, like from a cross or something, you know, or like a Bible that was like burned, or you know, like just like weird stuff like that. And instead, it was just wax figurines. They put you in a room, and it's wax figurines all above you, and they highlight one wax figurine while this guy's narrating, and it's all pre-recorded, and it's fucking lame. Like, I was just like, this is not a good start to this. And then later that day we went to like a pirate ship that they found somewhere, and this was like a new exhibit, but it was like very similar, where like we saw wax figurines, but then we also saw like cannons and cannonballs that like were retrieved from the ship. But a bunch of stores just like sold like trinkety witchy stuff, and I was like, And then we asked for the authentic stores, and it seemed like they didn't want us there when we went in there.
Oh yeah.
Went down Nocturne Alley.
Like,
they do.
they're like, you're not witchy enough.
Yeah,
Like,
you can't
we're coming
just-
in there with a stroller. And
You
shit.
can't like just walk into Ray's Occult Books and your Klonoa shirt on.
Yeah.
Just expect them to be like, oh yes.
I'm here for the beer and the witches.
Yeah. The one thing I didn't like about Salem, though, is that they're all about New England style IPAs, hazy IPAs, and that's not my jam right now.
All right.
But
It
it's
used
like,
to be.
It used to be,
did.
but like I'm all about West Coast IPAs, and I walked into this one brewery, and on the sign outside was like, "Don't ask us for West Coast IPAs." Like they wrote that on the sign. It wasn't like,
Dang.
"Welcome all." I was like, "Don't ask us for West Coast IPAs. You won't get that here." I'm like, Jesus Christ. But it like everything's just very hazy. So
I mean,
you know,
it is the East Coast.
You went
It
full
is.
Tupac.
yeah, I know. So. What do you mean by that? I don't even
You
know.
were
Oh,
East
West
Coast,
yeah,
and now you
yeah.
went full West Coast.
Full West
Was
Coast.
he East Coast ever?
Oh yeah,
Was he?
Absolutely, he was.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Biggie was.
Well, Biggie was always East Coast. Tupac started East Coast
I don't
and
think
then
he
went
did.
West
Did
Coast.
he?
I'm gonna Google it because you're
I thought he was
making
from-
me second guess
I thought he
myself.
was from
but
Cali or something.
I
California love.
I'm fairly
Is that
certain
even Tupac or is that Dr.
that
Dre?
that's Tupac
No, that's
and
Snoop
Dr.
Dogg.
Dre. No, it's Tupac produced by Dr. Dre. Yeah, he's born in New York City.
I was gonna say, wasn't he a
Okay.
New York
Yeah,
boy?
so he was New York. I was right. All right.
Alright.
Yeah, all right. I know something.
Hey, that's
Rapping boy.
thank you for
Alright.
Sam
having-
the West Shore rapping boy.
I love it. So, either way, Salem was cool. We sort of wish we had more time in there, like to like explore more of Salem,
Sure.
but it was also enough. Like it's a small town. Like there was cool witch stuff around, like statues and shit like that. But like the museum, just pass on that. It wasn't fun. But we ended our trip in Massachusetts to go see our buddy Jordan and his family, Channel 3 gamer, who I met last year. He came to like Hershey, Pennsylvania and stopped by my house, and really cool guy that I know through Instagram. And we hit it off, and he's like, you're more than welcome to like come up here and vacation and stay at our place for 3 nights or whatever, however long you want. And I was like, we'll come up there for 1 night, 2 days, and hang out with you and then be in Salem. And I wish we would have just been up there for the whole 3 nights because it was so much fun.
Yeah.
He blessed me with a PS1 light up sign,
Whoa.
which was really cool.
Nice.
It's like glued together with epoxy in some areas. So I need to somehow pry it out. I haven't done it yet, Jordan. I'm sorry. I've been fucking busy. But I need to pry it out to change the bulb. But it's cool. It's a nice fucking game sign. And then he also gave me like 3 thicker signs from Hollywood Video. One is PS3, one is PS2, and one is a Wii. Which was
Nice.
so nice of him. I was just like, dude, don't have to do this. But he has one of the coolest game basements.
Doesn't he have a bunch of arcade machines?
Bunch of arcade machines, bunch of pinball machines.
Dope.
2 really cool kids that just like love playing on all the video games.
Awesome.
That's good.
We just had a really good time, and he invited his good buddy and a friend that I've been talking to even longer than Jordan, a guy that goes by Bo, but his name is actually not Bo.
Gamebo.
Gamebo. You know Gamebo?
We've talked about Gamebo.
Gamebo, what's up? So, sorry to call you out on this, but he's not a Bo. He is a William.
Okay.
But he has always gone by Bo, so that is why his tag is Gamebo.
That's cool.
But it was great to finally meet him. He's such a cool guy. He reminds me of myself, so he seems like a Bo,
Bo.
He's an
0.0.
honorary Bo,
Bo
for sure.
Bo 0.0.
Yeah. But he gifted me an Alundra map that I didn't know I needed for my PS1 game. I actually had
Nice.
to FaceTime my mother-in-law while she was at the house and be like, can you find Alundra? She's like, what does that mean?
What's
like,
a Hondra?
I'm like, go look at my video games. To the top right are the PS1 games. I'm like, look for Alundra. And she's like, I see Alundra 2. I'm like, keep looking. There's an Alundra 1. Like, open it up. Let me see. Okay, there's no map. Yes, I need it. Thank you. But yeah, we had a great time. I stopped while in Salem. I stopped at a store called Game Zone, and it was really cool. Really cool game store, good prices. They had an N64 kiosk that I tried to buy, and he was like, "Nah, not for sale." I was like, "Okay," but I ended up picking up Tekken Tournament 2 for the Wii U, a game that I needed, and yeah, it was fun.
I always love going to game stores, like way outside of my map, because I feel like I'm always much more like fresh to their stock. Even if it's sometimes a little similar, it's just so much more fun.
2003 on the PS2.
Yeah,
Kobe Bryant in the zone.
I was looking at PSP games, and he told me about a game that he said the famous words of, it really reminds me of Yakuza. And I was like, oh, I need it. Yeah. But it was just disc only, and it was $80. And I was like, I can't do this. I'm trying to figure out the name of it. I ended up buying it on eBay. I got it for, I think, $45, which was nice. Let me see. It's a fun game, though. But it's like original Yakuza, where you just beat up people and you talk a bunch of shit. Yeah, it was fun.
Is it a Sega game?
Yeah, I believe so. So it is called Kenka Bancho Badass Rumble for Sony PSP.
Wow.
Yeah, I got it for $47, which was also just disc only. Super rare game, I guess, to find for the PSP. But you talk a bunch of shit and then you beat them up. Wow. And like you have like other people help you beat other people up.
Sounds badass.
It's a badass rumble.
Rumble.
Sam, what have you been up to, man?
Not a whole lot gaming wise. I've actually most recently gotten back into Gran Turismo 4 on PS2.
Okay.
It's one of those games that you can kind of just like,
it's a good game,
get really focused on, and it's a great game. And I'm in the heat of car show season at work right now, so my understand, like, I every now and again I'll know these random car facts about things that like our event managers are a little bit low-key impressed that I know, and it's always because of video games.
Yeah.
And like so we had this import show in May, and they were like, so there's this build of it's a Japanese builder that does custom versions of Subarus, and I said Tommy Kira, and they're like, why do you know that? And I was like, because I've been playing Gran Turismo since I was like 10 years old, and that's like the cool Subarus in Gran Turismo. So I dusted off Gran Turismo 4 because I have not invested in a PlayStation since, well, the 3, but I don't even have that anymore. I have the 2. So that's been the basis of my gaming existence of late. Yeah, it's one of those games you can really just like focus in, and like you can it's the kind of game I like, where it's like I'll focus on like honing those skills again. Next thing you know, it's been a few hours.
Yeah.
Or I just get frustrated and I stop for the day. But
honestly, good racing games, I feel like, are some of the longest games I can sit down and keep playing and playing and playing and like mastering it.
And simulations like that one, I feel especially so. Like I love arcade racers. Always have, always will, because they're a little bit more pick up and go, and like kart racers and stuff like that too. But every now and again, the like simulations just grip me, and that one and the PS2 Gran Turismos were some very nostalgic games for like me and my friends too. So it's fun to go back to. I haven't touched that game in probably 15 years, so that's been the thing. Say gotta love the PS2, and you know, doing it right. The little Trinitron, like been playing it on that like 13-inch TV.
Oh, really?
Like sitting in my nerd lair,
yeah,
doing it right. But
it's awesome.
Yeah, just this is the busy time of year in the car show land. So down in Carlisle, we've been watching the cars go by. But it's funny. I'm actually in the process of putting together my video game interests and my work have finally converged, and I'm putting together a display. They're doing we have a Chrysler show coming up in July, and we're putting together a display of all the like Mopar collectibles. I happen to own 3 of these demo discs for different LucasArts PC games that were all produced in conjunction with Chrysler Plymouth. And
Really?
they come with this like very, very 90s, like mist looking point and click virtual auto, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Show floor, basically.
Sure.
Okay. Of Chrysler
Plymouth stuff.
That's cool.
So I'm like gonna put like a beige box computer together and like put it out on display in this like collectibles display. But now I've been looking at like 90s, all the lovely 90s LucasArts, like Full Throttle and Star Wars Rebel Assault and Dark Forces, some of my like most childhood favorites. So.
Yeah, Toyota did that with Sega, I think, for the Saturn and the Dreamcast.
Really?
Yeah,
I never knew that.
With different there, because like I have saved searches for like Sega demos and stuff. On eBay, so like I'll get those, and it showcases the new Toyotas of that year. I believe they did it for Saturn and Dreamcast.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I mean, it was definitely a thing. I mean, I was a big consumer of PC demo discs, and I regret not holding on to more of them than I did, because like as soon as the internet was a thing, it was like, I don't need any of this.
You don't need any of it.
But I still happen to have these LucasArts ones because they were just cool enough that it was like, hold on to these. They have like artwork with them. Like a lot of times for PC, you got like, here's 101 shareware games all on a CD. It was like what I would get. But these were like a little more special.
I remember getting the Chex Mix game from the Chex Mix box.
Oh, I got like a whole bunch of
and
those,
then I remember seeing Limited Run come out with that game, and I was just like, stop.
Isn't it like a Doom clone or something? It's using the Doom engine or whatever.
Yeah. Chex Attack.
Honestly, I forgot about it until Limited Run came out with it. I was like, oh yeah, I remember that. Like I remember playing that.
I've seen like legit like source ports of that using the Doom engine. That's awesome.
That's funny.
Nice.
But yep, other than that, I download the Epic Game Store free game every week, and it sits on my hard drive, and
fun.
I watch it go by. Oh, and I got a really random game for the Switch. Car Mechanic Simulator 2018.
You're really in the cars.
Car Mechanic Simulator 2018.
I think it's 2018. I forget, but there's this game called
Switch.
Car Mechanic Simulator. Now, I've been like trying to be like more like not interested in cars. Like cars are fine, and that's pretty much where it ends for me. But like I've been trying to at least be like know what I'm talking about when I try to suggest content to these people that it's like their whole life, these gearheads and stuff. So I was playing Car Mechanic Simulator on Switch.
All right. Are you learning how to work on cars or what?
On the Switch.
On the Switch, yeah.
So
Is it touchscreen?
It can be. I pretty much just play with the controls because I suspend my disbelief that the touchscreen on the Switch isn't as useful as it actually is.
It can be.
It can be, and I always just sort of pretend like it's just a screen for whatever dumb reason.
Yeah.
But that's the other random thing I've been playing. Remember that game I told it was a platformer. You probably don't remember because I just mentioned it on the podcast. It's called Horus.
Horus, yeah.
I lost my save game on that like a year or two ago, and I was so mad that I haven't touched it since then. But I picked it back up for the Switch now. I had been playing it on PC, and I picked it up for Switch and have started to play through that again. Because I had to have been like 60-70% through the game, and I lost my save game.
How?
I made a boo-boo. I thought that my Epic Game Store account was cloud saves. I reformatted my computer and then found out that it wasn't.
Oh.
So bye-bye save game file.
Rip.
And but then it was like on sale on Switch, so I picked it up for that too. It's actually a little bit more interesting to play for Switch. It's always had that like retro console vibe to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so on the Switch screen, it's a little bit less like. It feels weird when you're playing a game like that on PC and it's like really high res and like the pixel art doesn't necessarily like fit, like you're sitting in front of like a 40-inch, 50-inch screen that's like 4K. It just doesn't feel right. I like it better on the Switch screen. It just makes more sense in general.
The Switch is just the ultimate system.
It is. And I am glad that I opted for that and not Sonic Origins. That's all I'll say about that.
Okay. All right.
Stellar.
I've been playing Dragon Warrior 11 for a while now. Loving it, and the only thing I wish I was doing instead was not playing it on the PS4 and instead playing it on the Switch.
Okay.
Because I just love playing things on the Switch. I play most of my games in bed before bed.
Right.
And with it being on the PS4, I'm in the game room having to play it. So it's fine. It's fun. It's a super long game. It feels long, and I'm not even probably 2% into it. And I'm at the 5th world or whatever, or 5th town, I guess. And it's too much. But it seems like a fun game. The other game I've been playing is a little game on the Switch called Turnip Boy.
I want to play this so bad.
Evades tax or something.
Commits tax
evasion. Yeah.
I want to play this so bad. It looks so fun.
I'm surprised I haven't beaten it yet. I think I'm close to it. I think it's only like a 3.5 hour long game.
It's not a long game, yeah.
But it's totally like any like top-down Zelda game, with a lot of humor, a lot of fun stuff.
That's what I kept seeing.
Yeah, you talk to a bunch of people, you find papers that talk about like you evading tax or someone else like doing something that they shouldn't do, and you just rip it up. Like you can either read it, like it gives you the synopsis of it, and you can read it or rip it, and then you rip it up and you're like, cool. And that's like the main focus of the game, is to collect all those and rip them all up and do little side quests for people. Yeah, it's fun.
That's cool.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
It is.
Get that one.
And it's cheap on the eShop. I think they have a physical version of it too for like $25 or $30.
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, it's not an expensive game.
I won't allow myself to buy that game until I actually commit to playing through
tax
more
evasion.
Commit tax evasion, maybe. If inflation keeps going up.
Yeah.
Not an incriminating
Earthbound.
statement. Earthbound is exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah, have you guys been playing Earthbound?
No.
I'm such a
God
fucking
damn it.
slapper.
Say, bless me, Bo, for I've sinned. It has been 3 months since I've played Earthbound.
Jeez.
I got stuck, and then I got frustrated, and it wasn't the kind of stuck that I could ask you. It was the kind of stuck that I should have gone back and like done a few more things, and then like
you could have asked me. What do you mean?
No, I mean like I knew what to do. I just couldn't beat the one part. And
where are you at? The ant?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
The first boss.
Yeah, basically.
Just go fight some scallywags down by the arcade.
Right, and that's the part where I was like, I got things to do.
Yeah.
Right. I don't have time to grind. I'm an
then
adult.
I haven't thought about it.
You really don't have to grind that much, though, in it.
No.
I've been playing Earthbound 2. I'm pretty far into it. I'm at the Dungeon Man area. And unfortunately, I played the same part in Earthbound like 5 times in a row because I do play at night. And I forget. And I think there's an auto save. Either way, it's saving. And I have multiple files all from the same area. And I'm like, well, let me go to the most recent one. Well, the most recent one isn't the last one that I played in the sense.
Right.
So I'm actually like repeating the same shit that I'm playing. I'm like, I don't want to do this again. Like I've done it so many times. So
Now you playing that like on in advance?
no, on the Switch.
Oh, I didn't know you could play Earthbound 2 on the Switch.
No. Earthbound.
Oh, Earthbound also. I thought you meant
not 2.
Earthbound 2,
Which would be Mother 3.
which would be Mother 3.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. I went a little.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah, you guys should play it again or pick it back up.
God.
I need to.
I need to. I just wish I had the time.
I have it. I just didn't.
I don't.
How was Kelly?
Dude, it was great. I was going to say, we both took a
right.
little vacation here in the last month.
We all did. I did too.
Where
Yeah.
did you go, Sam?
I went to Baltimore.
He
Oh,
went
okay.
to Orioles game.
Yeah, we went to the O's game. We went to the B&O Railroad.
He went
Went
down
to
to
the Baltimore
Baltimore.
Zoo. Drank some natty booze. Went to Little Italy.
He had
Fuck yeah.
some,
Yeah, it was
some
great.
Old Bay
It was
on his
actually great.
crabs.
But I want to hear more about Cali
Yeah.
because that's more interesting.
Yeah, no, it was a great time. It was kind of like a little impromptu trip. My cousin was turning 40. She sent like an email to my entire family that was like, "Hi, I'm turning 40 and I'm throwing a birthday party. It would be really cool if you come out." And I was
that's
like,
cool.
"Well, I guess I don't need a reason except for this to go."
Yeah.
You know, I was just like, "That sounds good enough to me." So my sister and I flew out there. and we had a blast. I mean, truly, I haven't been out there in like 7 years, which was way too long. And especially with COVID, nobody was traveling. So I hadn't even seen a lot of them for over 3 years. There were new babies and things like that. It was
new babies are the best babies,
right? Yeah. So I got to meet
No one
like my
wants old
cousin.
babies.
Yeah, fuck the old babies.
Yeah, we hate those old babies. Get them out of here.
Give me the fresh babies.
Yeah, give me a fresh one.
They're the cute ones.
But yeah, I had some new family members to meet. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was like the primary goal, and I was like, if I have time, I'd love to like just do a couple little things.
Yeah.
I don't need to see the Hollywood sign. I don't need to go to Man's Chinese Theater. I don't need to, go to Disneyland. I've done all that.
Yeah.
So it was just kind of like a, go relax trip, which was really great and exactly what I needed. So it was awesome. It was a great distraction. My mom was having some major surgery that time while I was out there. So it was a tough time, but it was really nice to be out with my family and enjoy that. Yeah, so we went to like 2 places that are in this passport program that my toy store is also in this passport program.
All the way out in Cali.
Yeah, it's all over the world.
Weird.
Yeah.
Not weird, but that's cool.
No, yeah, it was really cool. So it was nice to see, like, I didn't get to a video game store, but I got to see kind of like what it is out there.
Yeah.
As far as like, instead of just visiting as like, I'm just going to buy your shit. Like, I kind of know what you deal in, like what's it like out here versus what's it like over here.
Yeah.
Obviously it's just more expensive, but, no, it was really cool to like meet these people and I got to see Unsealed Games.
Yeah.
Which is the little topper on the whole trip.
Oh yeah.
So he opened Bed and Breakfast LA. This is the Instagram handle, I believe, for his little breakfast spot. It's in the parking lot of Circus Liquors in Hollywood. And Circus Liquors is famous for this huge neon clown sign. It's very like pop culture. Like you would know it if you saw it.
Okay.
But it's so cool. So you would just like roll right in there. And he's got this little tent set up. And they've got all their little griddles and stuff. And they just cook right there. And you can like order it ahead of time or just roll up and order it. And like you know how there's like food you think about for the rest of your life? Mm-hmm. Like you have a meal and you're like, this is really good. And like you can't stop thinking about it. That breakfast burrito is one of those meals for me. I have not stopped thinking about that
all of his
burrito.
Videos of his breakfast burritos just
they look incredible, but they taste
so good.
Exactly like that. Like you are just drooling. I went with a breakfast burrito I went with both sausage and bacon since I thought if I'm getting one, I'll just throw it all in one.
Yeah.
When in Hollywood.
Right. And it's got hash browns and eggs and cheese. And then he does like a cheese crust on the outside.
Jeez, oh fuck.
And then there's a salsa you can put in on the side. And then the cilantro sauce. Man, I told him if he's going to bottle that and sell it, I will buy it.
Yeah, he should.
It was so good.
Oh my, I'm looking at his menu. I can actually order it online, so give me like
3,000 miles.
Say, give me like 5 hours.
Well, we're gonna Uber Eats it on Southwest.
Right. You think
it will never get
that?
here? No. Not from Southwest.
No. Hey, I flew Southwest. I'm fine.
All right.
You think any company would invest in that? Like
I have
West
no
Coast
idea.
food delivered by plane? How bougie would you feel?
It would be like 50% in and out though, which I also had when I was out there. I kind of
you have to.
It's a thing. But yeah, I was like, first of all, food incredible. Please, if you are anywhere close to Hollywood for some reason, you have to go there. It's so good.
Yeah.
I cannot stress that enough. We need to get that man a shop.
Unsealed Games was one of our first like fans of Precisely when Tony and I were doing it. He won one of our giveaways for a 1 of 50 like Pokemon Red games that Retro Nintendo made. That I was able to get 2 copies of.
That's sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Good human all around. Literally everybody I've met from it. Well, I met Doug's game room, so never mind.
Oh.
So I was going to say everybody I've ever met from Instagram has been a stand-up human, but except for that one.
Yeah.
No, everybody has been stellar. He is, not an exception to that at all. He's wonderful.
Most people are good.
He sent me home with a little gift too, and I was like, "Shit, man! All I could pack you was a sticker." Now I feel bad, but he sent me home with this like cool like Dungeons and Dragons, like 80s Dungeons and Dragons like CD, and like booklet. Like it's so fucking cool. It's just really rad.
I gotta get friends that give me gifts when I go visit them.
Dude, you gotta fucking be on Instagram
friends?
showing your shit off.
You gotta go travel, I guess.
Yeah.
I gotta get out more.
But no, thank you for that, my
Show
friend.
off your
It was
Trinitron
great.
more and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And your
Trini
Gran
pictures.
Turismos and all that.
Trini pics.
Turn on the Turismo.
Do a bunch of hashtags.
We're gonna grow your following this year.
Yes.
No, but that was really cool to be able to link up with him out there, and
Hell yeah.
so I mean, hopefully next time I get out there, it won't be 7 years, but I'd love to maybe spread myself out a little bit more because I really didn't.
He should come here.
Oh, he should. I told him if he comes out here, he's got.
We can get Sheets breakfast burritos.
Hell yeah, that'll definitely make you sad.
And there's gonna be Wawa here soon too.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow, competition.
Little competition.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Soon. Yeah, no, but I'm hoping next time I go out there, you know, I can check out some actual game stores, maybe meet up with anybody else out there, because I know there's a ton of people that live out there that we know. But
Oh yeah.
I just kind of kept it close to where I was staying with my family, so it wasn't out of the way.
Which reminds me, your family lives where Marty McFly's dad was a peeping Tom.
Yes, so my family lives in South Pasadena on the street where in Back to the Future, Marty McFly's dad is laying in the tree, peeping Tomming.
He's a peeping Tom.
He's a peeping Tom. And he's looking in the window, and then he falls out of the tree. And
Very iconic trees,
that
specifically.
tree is right there.
That's so cool.
But that neighborhood is really awesome. They do a lot of filming in there, so it's not unheard of to see stuff blocked off. I've seen them filming a Criminal Minds episode at one house one time.
That's cool.
I think one of the other houses was like, I don't know if it was Animal House or something. There was a house that was...
I would not know.
I don't remember.
Recognize the trees from Back to the Future
Yes.
immediately.
Yes,
Oh.
it is very picturesque. It is very much that like classic, if you're thinking like, oh, I want to move to California, this is where I want to be, but you know, it's probably unattainable. That's what it is. Unattainable for anybody who would just walk over there right now. And just be
Who
like,
has
I
to
want
pay
that.
property taxes now.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
You got to be born
Grandfathered
into
in
it.
24
well, yeah,
years ago.
and they I mean, my family immigrated to California. We were all East Coasters before, so they've just slowly moved themselves over there. But they all have really awesome jobs and stuff. They all work really hard, so it's a really cool lifestyle that I get to see when I go out there too, because there's stuff that I would think like 6 times about, and they're just like, nope, that's something we do out here. You know what I mean? Like, it's just really, it's an interesting change of
for sure.
pace. But no, Cali was super fun. I can't wait to go back. Yeah, that was really cool.
Different pace always reminds me when I go visit my brother in the South.
Oh, yeah.
My brother lives in like southern South Carolina in like the low country.
Does he have a jug band?
He should.
Can he start one?
He probably could. But his friends that are like native to down there think my family is fascinating because everybody's in such a hurry to do things.
Sure.
Which is just them being really slow as far as I can observe it. Like, because I don't think I'm ever in a hurry, but they're like, they want to have like a 4-hour conversation about it.
Right. No, agreed.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and there's one of my cousin's friends, I forget the name of the brewery, owns a brewery, and it's over by like LAX, over by SpaceX, all that over there in LA. And I can't remember the name of the brewery, but next time that I go out there, we're going to go so I can try their beer, which is pretty cool because it's also like, I know we talk about it here in Pennsylvania. We are blessed with a ton of breweries.
Yes.
If I wanted to try like a different beer out there, it's not really like a thing. Like, I can't just like stroll up and be like, where's the nearest craft brewery?
Oh, really?
It didn't seem like, I mean, I'm sure there are a lot of like hole in the wall stuff, but like when I was just like looking around at stuff, I didn't like see these breweries popping up.
You gotta put it in Google.
It is funny though how like on the East Coast, Urban Blight has basically turned into like a craft brewery every 5 feet.
Yeah.
So that's how it was in Baltimore. It was like legitimately like
Philly
That's our
Philly's the
Starbucks.
exact same way.
It's our Starbucks.
Yeah.
It's like
The Pennsylvania Starbucks.
it's like, oh, that used to be a yarn factory. That used to be a textile mill. That used to be
all breweries.
all of them,
and now
all
they're
of them
all breweries.
with exposed brick.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like literally, I was driving through like North Baltimore on my way down because we stayed in Little Italy, and it's like, oh, I was like, I was like, every time I turn my head, I see 3 breweries.
Right.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
actually, like,
And they're all busy, I'm sure.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Yep, and they're all holding trivia on Thursday night.
Hell yeah. You have to.
You have to.
it's necessary.
I gotta find the dumb trivia place though. All
Dumb
the time we've
trivia.
gone to trivia, I'm just like, holy shit, these questions are like literally doing algebra and shit. Like,
Ugh.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've never seen like algebra, but
I've
I
seen
w-
some
I
calculus.
don't like that. I've
Yeah.
never taken calculus.
I've seen some things that like you would have to Google it to know what the fuck it is.
It's weird.
I will say the only time I've ever dominated trivia, and this was like 8-9 years ago, was the Silver Lake Inn in Lewisberry, like off of Space Highway out towards Pinchot.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't. You
I
know what?
crushed trivia there.
I was gonna say. I feel like that's not a hard place to crush trivia.
Oh, what are you trying to say?
Nothing.
What beer are we drinking right now that I'm about to finish?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Speaking of craft breweries, so we've got another one. This one's called Top Notch, a West Coast IPA, 6.5%. This one says a West Coast style IPA brewed with Citra, Centennial, Cascade, CTZ, and Idaho 7 hops.
I love
Idaho
it.
7. I'm not familiar with.
Very, very drinkable. Very
This is
plat.
really smooth, yeah.
Yeah, very.
And it's got a little red curtain with a monkey with symbols.
Wind up monkey toy.
Yeah.
Sure.
And that's the art.
California girl.
Yeah, I did not drink any cool. I think I'd had like maybe one beer while I was out there that was like new. But
Okay.
I drink. My family's wine drinkers out there, and
Ah,
I don't
yeah.
drink wine, but they buy the good shit.
It's very
California,
northern
yeah.
California.
And
up
yeah,
there.
so
California
I'll,
is very wine
Yeah,
country.
I drank a shit ton of good wine, but
That's cool.
yeah.
I've never been to Southern California. The farthest west I've been that far south is Las Vegas.
I've never been to Las Vegas.
I
I don't
Keep
really.
going.
Yeah, I don't think I'm
For
missing it.
Cali, for me, this most southern I was at was like People's Park in Sacramento,
Okay.
which is
Okay.
not
That's not
south at all.
Yeah,
Very
no, I was
south.
gonna
That's
say,
very
yeah.
north.
No, I've been to like the Bay Area, and I've been far south as like
Yeah.
like other side of Silicon Valley, but never
Yeah.
to the L.A.
Yeah.
We did when I was in high school, we flew out to landed in San Francisco, stayed with a cousin who was doing her residency up there at the Oakland Children's Hospital, and then took the one all the way down.
Yeah, that's
Stopped
a fun
at a couple
drive.
places, had a good time, and I got family in Santa Barbara too, so
Yeah.
we stopped there for like a couple days to hang with them. But that stuff, just the whole way down, like from what I can remember, again, I was like 15,
Yeah.
16 years old, so I fully did not appreciate it, but there was like some real cool shit that I would
That's about as old as I was the last time I did that. And no, I very much regret never going to Southern California because my dad basically spent a week out of every month in like Southern LA or he had offices in El Segundo or in Santa Barbara, like a week out of every month from the time I was like 15 till I was like almost 30.
Oh man.
And like, yeah. The man commuted from Harrisburg Monday to Thursday.
Yes.
He'd just go to the West Coast sometimes.
Jesus.
And I never went with him. I never figured out like
Yeah.
doing that. And I totally should have because like I would have basically just had like free reign and free lodging to go out to California if I bought myself a flight.
Yeah, that's
Things
kind
you
of
think about in your
yeah.
30s now and you sit at home with your 2-year-old.
locked in at the bathtub.
Yep.
No, I mean, that's kind of how it is for me out there since there's like 95% of my family's out there.
Yeah.
All I have to do is pay for the ticket, and
Yeah.
then almost everything else is good. I've got pool access, I've got lodging. You know, I can chip in for meals or grab an Uber or whatever.
Right.
But, you know,
No,
there's
that's-
food and drink and cars available.
I believe the word is invaluable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'll make my way out there at some point.
It's a good
on the
trip.
list.
It's a good trip.
I actually
enjoyed
did
it.
physically make a list of all the places that I need to go. Baltimore was not one of them, but I went there. I keep talking about Baltimore. I love Baltimore.
Baltimore.
But I love me some Baltimore. It's a great little 1 hour vacation from here.
For me, it's a great day trip. Yeah.
Well, and that's how it always was for me. But since I've always been a big baseball fan, and we've talked about this, of course, with
going to all the stadiums.
Going to the stadiums and stuff. Yeah. But my wife, not being as big of a baseball fan, she likes to make a trip out of Baltimore to like go do some other stuff, go to Fells Point, like great, like
see the aquarium,
Waterline. That's the one thing we didn't do because that's expensive as all get out. And when you have a child, it's not necessarily worth it unless you want to spend all day.
Yeah, wait for him to get a little older.
But
and
the
go
train
pick the
museum, you're talking
that's his language.
Prime parenting right there.
How old is Link now?
He is 2 years old now, and
do they charge at the aquarium?
Oh yeah,
for 2-year-olds.
Yeah, they do. But if your child is under 2, they get into the train museum. So Lincoln just turned 2 yesterday. No, he turned. Yeah. Of course he did. But Baltimore's cool. But
was Thomas there?
No, but he's met Thomas. Thomas was at the Strasburg Railroad.
Yep,
and
that's a big one.
He was terrified of Thomas because Thomas is like 18 feet tall when he's in real life. And on TV, he's like happy and, he's driving around doing his thing. But then you see Thomas in real life and he's bigger than your house. And it's pretty scary when you're
not sentient.
When you're 2. And he's
frozen in time.
But he has a face.
Yeah, he has a face. And at Strasburg, the worst part about Strasburg, though, is that it's an out and back railroad. It's not a circuit.
Nope.
So Thomas's face faces the cars. And if you sit at the end car, his face peers into the car, and our friends sat in that car, and it's like the most terrifying thing. There's this like 6 foot wide Thomas face just staring at all the kids in the car with this permanent smile.
Jeez.
And its eyes going back and forth. It's so funny.
The eyes move?
The eyes move as the train moves.
No, that's worse.
Oh my God.
I thought he was just like fiberglass the whole thing, just not move. No,
his eyes do move, and it's kind of hilarious. But we did the Strasburg thing.
Demon.
Thomas at the railroad is like the biggest children's racket, though, because it's like walk through these 8 tents of things that are for sale.
Sure.
And here's a picture you can buy.
That was Salem.
Yeah, but I say
everything had a gift shop too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I went to Cooperstown last fall up in New York, and it's very similar with baseball stuff.
It's the same thing.
That's wild.
Different fonts.
Cooler museum, though. I will give the Baseball Hall of Fame credit. That was fantastic. I could have spent 8 days there, but
I gotta go there.
1-year-old.
Good things.
It's awesome. If you're into baseball, there's so many neat things to see, like our old artifact, because it is like old artifacts. Yeah. It's like here's the seats from Fenway Park in 1917. Cool.
Yeah.
This is a Babe
Here's
Ruth
Babe Ruth's freaking entire uniform and bat and his like rookie contract and stuff like that. It's like holy shit! Like this is the thing. Like. And Harry Carey's glasses, that was my favorite thing I saw. Those like big, like I think of Will Ferrell when I think of Harry Carey, like the Cubs play-by-play guy is who I'm talking about.
Okay.
But he had these big plastic, like thick plastic glasses that he always wore, and those were in the Hall of Fame with like his microphone sitting there. So
that's cool.
Yeah, well, and that's a cool town because it's very small. It's like if Mechanicsburg had the Baseball Hall of Fame in it.
Oh.
And then it's like a couple of shops, some nice restaurants, and then a state park like 2 feet away. And it's a beautiful state park that has like a mansion you can tour and stuff in it. Like very cool trip. And then there's like it's a farmer's museum and then like a turn of the 20th century resort that does like, they do operas out on the lake because it's on this whole town is on a lake that starts the Susquehanna River.
Okay.
And then if that's the only other things there's breweries everywhere. The biggest one being
Yes, we are
Brewery.
a beer podcast. Yes.
Say
Bring it back around.
Omegang Brewery is the big one up there.
Yes. Yeah, they're good
stuff.
There's a lot of awesome breweries up there. Let's say if you're an East Coaster and you're a New Englander, Cooperstown's a great one.
Let me get a can, yo.
Yeah.
We're the beer and travel podcast this time around.
Well,
Definitely
it's
beer
the
and
summer, so.
Heck yeah.
We've been busy. Yeah. My daughter is almost 10 months old now.
God, I can't believe that. She's getting so big.
And
I haven't even seen her in person in like probably 3 months.
Yeah.
And she, like, the pictures,
She's standing up now by herself.
Yeah.
And she is walking with her
trying
hands.
to walk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like able to walk with us holding her hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely fine. Like
Yeah.
literally in 2 weeks probably
She
will
pull
be
herself
walking.
up too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, good for her.
Like without holding anything. She can.
Strong,
My
independent
nephew
woman.
is 11 months old.
The most independent woman I know.
We love it.
Like straight up, I'm just like, holy moly.
Wow.
Until I put her down and then she's like, come back, come back.
See, Addie and my nephew are only a couple weeks apart, and he's this like big chunk of a dude, Owen, and he's the same way.
monkey.
Like, he's a chunk because my son is a bag of bones by comparison to everyone
really?
else's babies, as I've come to learn. But Owen just like pulls himself up, and he just tries to walk, and just like crashes, but he loves it, so he just keeps trying to do it.
Oh, that's great.
It's fun.
Yeah, my cousin's kids, they're about, like, the one just turned 1 this week.
Okay.
So they're kind of similar in Addie's age. The other one I think will be 1 in August, maybe September. But yeah, so it's a very similar, like, yeah, because he was just starting to walk unaided. But
So it took my kid a year to do walking by himself, and then about 14 months to not crash all the time. He's now 2 and 2 months and still
he's doing
crashes.
better than I am. Oh, never mind.
So did you like baby proof your house?
Everything.
Okay.
And
I
I have
need to
a
do
one story house.
I think
so
you probably should.
it's one of those things where it depends on where you hang out all the time.
Yeah.
It's like you're not putting her like in your game room, really. I mean, yes, but like not like
if she's in the game room,
Supervised.
she's on the couch with me. Like I just brought the ottoman in, so like she can be on the couch in a big area.
okay.
So it's not just like couch cushions like we're sitting on. I have this like ottoman, and then I have another ottoman that she's able to crawl in this whole space and have toys.
Well,
but
once
we don't
she
hang
can
out in there because there's so many fucking games.
Let's say once she can walk, good luck with shelves.
All bets are off.
So right now, like we hang out on the first floor a lot. The floors are like redone. There's nice new carpet down, like a rug that she crawls on. Has all the toys that her heart could desire, but my record table's there that has books and records, and she loves pulling them out. And like one of my favorite childhood books was in there, which was The Giving Tree, and it gave one last thing, which was the slip cover around the book. It completely ripped while she pulled it off.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, we will get rid of the slip
Say
cover.
that doesn't
Thank
stop
you, Giving
and
Tree.
get rid of take slip covers off of all books.
Yeah, but what do you do
until
with
they're
that? You
closer to
just
2? They'll
put
rip
them in a
all the
box.
paper pages. Not just keep them. I mean, we have a ton of books that are Lincoln's that we took all the slip covers off of, because up until he was around 2, he would still rip like paper pages.
Why
on
are
books.
there slip covers on kids' books?
Because people don't have kids that write those books.
Okay.
They don't think.
They don't think about it.
I mean, The Giving Tree is like more of a like teen book. I feel
I was
like.
say that's more
that's
poetry.
that's like a late elementary school situation.
But, like she has all of her books, but then she wants my books on the
Well,
shelves.
I was
Like,
gonna say-
what's up with that?
That's
You want what
every
you can't have,
single
man.
thing.
I know.
Actually, it's funny you mentioned that, because right before I came over here, did I have Lincoln sitting on the couch playing my electric guitar? Not actually playing it, but like he knows now that if I get out an acoustic guitar and I'm sitting there playing, he can ask me to get out my electrics. They're just hanging on the wall. I get it down. He'll go sit on the couch. I'll sit it on his lap, and I'll give him a pick, and he'll just sit there and strum the electric.
Rockin'.
He has like 100 toys sitting next to him, but as soon as I get the guitar out, he gets a
wants to
guitar.
do it, yeah.
I give him the electric because he can't drop a pick in the hole.
I knew
The sound
exactly
hole.
why you gave him the electric.
That's smart.
Well, kids are gonna just want to do whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
That's exactly
So that's all it is. So whenever, that's why it's so, you always see kids with a game controller that's not plugged in. You know, because it's yeah, it's the same thing. It's just
And then-
with whatever you do.
Then they turn 2 and they don't want to listen to a single thing you say.
Yeah.
That part's great.
Yeah.
It's all awesome, but
It is.
yeah, the part right before walking is interesting because they have to pull on everything.
Mm-hmm.
That
She
was a fun
loves
time.
knobs right now.
Yeah,
And like
that doesn't end
handles and
either.
stuff,
Say
yeah.
doorknobs. Lincoln still can't do doorknobs, but
We're about to get
the ones with the handles that he can pull.
Oh, yeah.
Say we had we have a big like open area between our kitchen and where his playroom was. I actually bought basically a fence to go across that, like rooms that he would be penned in there. But then as soon as he could walk, he pretty much figured out how to get out of it. So he has free reign of the house now. And now that he can really run, honestly, it's like we made the mistake of basically giving him 3 cupcakes before bed last night.
Oh no!
Not like we purposely gave him 3 cupcakes. It was like he had one, and then he shared one with his mom, and then he shared one with me, which basically means he eats them. I just had him run laps through the house. Like, all right, Lincoln, you're gonna run to your bed, then you're gonna run to mommy and daddy's bed, and then you're gonna run back here. Ready? Go! And he just like sprints through the house for like a half an hour.
Did he crash?
It took a while, but we got there. But we pretty much had to take anything that was like low on shelves and find new places for a while, like my records and like my video games is different because that's a different area of the house. He gets into that stuff, but like I have things sort of strategically placed that like if he carries like game controllers around, I don't care. If he carries like even like certain computers around, I don't care that much. But like it's always something.
Yeah.
Parenthood, man.
Yeah. I just went and saw the doctor. Hopefully my parents aren't listening this far into it, but I'm getting a vasectomy.
Oh yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
So if I have any more, I'm up for one of those.
Yeah.
Well, with the way the government
fuck the government. Let's say that.
Well,
okay?
yeah. No, I agree. But the way the government has gone,
I've never liked the government.
I have now put that on my list of things to talk to a doctor about.
Yeah.
For myself, because I mean, I have no other choice. And now I have to find a doctor who's going to say, oh, a young married woman who doesn't have children that wants her stuff taken out. I don't know. What does your husband think about that? So
because it's up to him.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to raging at a lot of people in the future here.
Yeah.
But that is not why we're
my
here.
doctor didn't care.
No, they don't, because
he was like,
man.
He's like, oh, like, I mean, Addie was with us and stuff, and he's like, is this your only one? And we're like, yeah. He's like, what do you do? I was like, I work at a pawn shop. He's like, oh. He's like, my uncle from New York has a lot of old rugs that are worth a lot of money. And like, we just like started talking about shit and like collectibles. And I was like, cool. And then we made an appointment, and my wife is like, so he cared more about your job than the surgery he's doing. I was like, don't matter. Like most doctors do. Like like whatever. Like he's going to do the surgery. He's used to the surgery. He's been doing the surgery for years. He doesn't hear someone that works at a pawn shop every fucking day, you know?
Yeah, that's probably true.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, from her perspective, it's more of, we would have had to go in there and give a 40-page PowerPoint presentation as to why we need our parts removed, and they still would say
I'm surprised.
no.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised he didn't fucking ask me, you know, more on why. Like, it wasn't like, oh, why, you know, it was just...
Right. That's...
Oh, okay, you guys seem like...
Yeah, that's the discourse, and that's why it's such an issue, is that, like, if you and Kayla didn't have a kid and she tried to go by herself, I guarantee she would not get it done on the first doctor she went to.
Yeah.
So that's why it's frustrating, and that's why I'm going to be staring this down, but it's like, now I don't have a choice. Before I was just like, we can make do until I'm done, you know. But now it's like, well, I can't take any chances, because if I do, there's a possibility that I'm going to be stuck in a situation that I can't afford to be stuck in, and I don't want to be stuck in.
Yeah.
So it's fucked up. It's truly fucked up, and I'm mad, and I've been mad, and now I'm really mad. But that's not for this podcast. Just make a difference in your community. Make sure you vote. Do local shit. It all trickles down.
Since we're talking about it, like I told Kayla about it because she told me about a country that went through a similar thing, which I want to say was Iceland or Sweden.
It's probably Iceland.
Where in the 60s or 70s, they took away women's rights or something. It might have been abortion. I want to say it was, and all this could be wrong. I don't fucking know. It's hearsay, but I believe it's truth. But the women of that country took a stand for a day.
Yeah.
Where they did not do
Iceland.
anything.
It was Iceland.
It was Iceland.
Yeah,
Okay.
women's strike in Iceland.
Yes, and they
I
still
feel-
celebrate it.
And I feel like America needs to do the same thing.
They do.
And I totally support all that. And, I'll watch my daughter for a day. Like,
Right.
if I can watch her
No, I
every day,
agree. I
Kayla's in a
agree.
musical right now. So, like, I'm
Right.
watching her all the time. This is...
That's right, she is. I forgot about that.
Yeah, today's the day that I could record,
Right.
because she's not at the musical practicing. But I'm like, yo, fucking make this happen, because it just takes one of you to say on TikTok or Instagram or wherever, like, hey, let's make this day the day that we just strike and not fucking do anything as women.
I get what you're saying, and I agree.
And maybe do it longer than a day.
I do want to fight, but it's scary because there's so much already stacked against us, not even counting this new law. And it's a scary time to be a female, and we will fight, and we want to, and we want our voices heard. But it's also mad terrifying that there's so many people, and it's not even just being a woman. It's mad terrifying for any American out there right now.
Yeah.
Shit's wild. I was in
They
Harrisburg
don't care
last
about
night.
us right now.
That shit was insane.
So what happened? Someone, like, screamed gun?
Essentially. So, backstory, and then also for listeners who are not in our country. Stuff's been going crazy. Laws have been getting overturned. Things are going a little wild. And as always, we've had mass shootings. And yesterday was America's Independence Day.
This week's mass shooting.
It was no different. That morning on Independence Day, somebody shot up a parade in Illinois. Stupid, senseless, and frustrating. So I went to Harrisburg, and I wasn't celebrating Independence Day yesterday. I was mad. I was not going to celebrate a country who didn't respect me. So I went to support some local food and local music. And then I was just going to sit on my friend's roof at their apartment building, and we were just going to eat and drink and then watch the fireworks because there were fireworks there. And so we ended up doing that. We had a great afternoon. Like, we were chilling. We had seltzers, we had great food, and it was an awesome day. The weather was great. And then we're waiting for the fireworks to go off on the roof, and it's like at the baseball stadium, the game was in extra innings. It was in bottom of the 10th. We were waiting for the game to end so the fireworks would go off. So it was a little later than we hoped. So we're waiting for the game, and then we hear this yelling, and we're like, oh, something must be happening at the game. And then it kept getting louder, and I was like, that's not the game. That's way closer. And I looked over the edge of the building, and there's like 28 Days Later style horde of humans, full sprint running down Front Street.
Are you serious?
Full sprint, screaming. I have spent most of today in bed. This was so traumatizing
Jesus
to
Christ.
witness. They were running.
Well, thank God you weren't, like, down there on the first floor.
They were stampeding down Front Street away from where stuff was. So they were going away from the event. And my first thought is not like, oh, what is it? Is it a natural disaster? Whatever. I was like, it's a shooter. It has to be. Like, there's no other logical explanation at this point.
Because why wouldn't there be?
Because why wouldn't there be? Exactly. So we're all panicking. We don't know what's going on. We can't see anything. We just see people screaming and running, and it's so loud. And then right at that point, the fireworks started going off. Like, the actual show started. So it was fucking insane. Just this whole, and people were just, screaming, trying to find other people. Like, they were screaming their names. You could just hear it. Like, usually when you're at a fireworks show, you hear people cheering. And there was no cheering. It was just people looking for somebody. It was, really dystopian and really fucked up. And it was very scary. And we didn't know what was going on. And then today they finally were releasing reports that it was not a shooter, but
They said there was a fight.
They said there was a fight, and then somebody said gun, and then everybody started running, which fair. And I don't know if there was a gun. There were fireworks going on at alternate places at that time. I could see fireworks in Wormleysburg and Dauphin and Susquehanna and
There's
everywhere
fireworks
else.
every 5 seconds
Right.
from my neighborhood.
So
Oh my God,
somebody, so somebody probably misconstrued any of those as shots too, and then boom, then it takes one person to say gun, and maybe there was a gun, but no firing, but still.
What
Mass
I saw
hysteria.
said that there wasn't actually any evidence to support that. There could have
Yeah.
very well been.
Yeah, I have no idea, but I mean, it was still super scary. It was like everybody's thinking, oh, it won't happen in my hometown, it won't happen here or whatever, but it's happening everywhere, and it could happen at any time here, and that's what is so frustrating. Like, it's not just the Supreme Court taking away my rights, it's not just these stupid laws that they're trying to pass, and it's not just Democrats and Republicans, it's people. Like, people are getting hurt from this, and nobody cares in the government, and it's just getting real frustrated by it.
Yeah. It's a weird time to be an American right now.
Yeah. So that's how I spent my July 4th, which cool. But, I hope that we start learning, and I hope we enact change, and I'm trying to do my best as an American, you know what I mean? Like, for as much as I can do.
Yeah.
If I don't make a difference at the local level, it's not going to make a difference anywhere else.
I agree.
Like, I can't just go storm Congress and expect them to change.
No, I'm not saying that, but...
No, but it starts at a local level. That's why I'm
does.
like, go out and vote in your primaries for your, local election. Go out to your town council meeting. All of this shit eventually is going to matter to you, because it's going to impact you. So, yeah.
It's crazy that it happened, like something that was a law for so long, or like a rule or whatever, like has now changed. And it's like, I didn't think that really happened much for something like this.
Yeah.
It's a Supreme Court decision getting reversed. Ultimately, the only redeeming thing left, if you do care, is that you do go vote, because Congress has the ability to say the Supreme Court decision has no bearing on any law.
Yeah.
Right. And this
is merely an interpretation of a law at this point, and they have the ability to make a constitutional amendment that could render that entire situation moot.
Yes.
So that's really the importance of voting, is that you have the ability to put more people in Congress that agree with the sentiments that Kelly is sharing, that I think we all share right here. And that's really what it comes down to. It's a situation where I haven't said a lot, and I've gotten a little more serious here in the last minute, but it's a situation that I tend to stay a little quieter on, because I don't think it's my place to have a decision.
I appreciate that. But I think everybody needs to say something.
But that's I say at
And
the same
that's-
time I feel
yeah.
conflicted, because
You have a wife, though.
I have I have an opinion. It's just I feel like it's not necessarily my place to speak about
it's not
it.
your fight, but it's your support.
Yeah, that's exactly I think
it's
where
all
I'm
of our
at.
fights, though.
Right, it is. It's a collective,
Yeah.
and the thing is,
As
I don't,
humans.
like, if you're on here and that's not your view or whatever, like, I'm not saying like we're just aborting for babies for fun. Like,
Fuck no.
Like, if for something were to happen, and then for somebody we know or a loved one were to have a situation in a wanted pregnancy or an unwanted pregnancy, and there's a life-threatening illness, I don't want to lose another person on top of
Losing the baby.
the baby.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, at some point you have to make a decision that says, I don't want this baby to die, and I don't want you to die, but we have to make a decision here for everybody's, health and wellness. Or I don't want this child to live without, I don't know, some a nervous system or something like
Fuck.
that.
I mean, last week in Ohio already, a 10-year-old girl was denied
Well, that's also the other thing is
her abortion rights.
Yeah.
From rape, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, yes, it can't be consensual at 10. Yes.
Yeah.
Anything
Well,
under
yeah,
anything under
Statutorily and
yeah.
forcibly in
Yes.
this
It's fucked up.
situation.
It's
It is
all
fucked
messed up.
And I don't apologize actually for talking about this on the podcast, because I feel like
It does need to be said.
people
It's important.
People need to hear this, and I hope our listeners care about it as much as we do. But just being human, it doesn't matter if you're female or male. It's just
Right.
fucking.
It's not
It's,
like
it,
I said.
it is literally disgusting what the higher powers of our country have done to this country.
It is not a Democrat or Republican issue right now. It's just a human rights thing. It's a moral thing. That's a human life that you are wasting because of something that might have happened.
Because of your preconceived notion that you're saving a human life.
But which also could not survive. Like it's just it's really messed up. And I've never been so consistently mad in my life.
Yeah. My wife is very mad.
Yeah.
She wants me to sell everything so we can start looking at other countries to live in.
It's not an uncommon thought.
Yeah.
It's scary. It's very scary for a lot of reasons. So and I don't mean to bring it down the podcast, but it does need to be said. These are things that have happened recently we haven't touched on, and using a platform like this to at least share your sentiment. Please, if you have any means to donate to a local abortion fund wherever you may be, if you're in the United States, that would be awesome. Supporting people like that, Planned Parenthood, stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's a good way to make a difference if you can.
Yeah. Thank you for listening this far. If you guys have, let's end it with this last beer that we're drinking, which is called "We Got Five on It," which is one of my favorite fucking songs back in the day.
I actually don't know the song.
I got five on it.
Oh yeah, I'm on it. No. It was all about like smacking women's asses, I think.
It was weed. It was about weed. There was weed in there too.
Weed and asses. I know exactly.
That Indo weed. I got five on it.
Okay, you're like
while I know
like
my
nickel bags. Yeah. You remember that?
While I know my 2-pack, this one has me a bit foiled.
Oh God, what's his name?
See, I thought it was smacking booties.
Yeah, but what's
like his... 5 fingers, not $5.
Yeah,
$2.
No, I thought it was weed. Right. What's his name that does it? I am blanking.
That's not his name.
No,
she doesn't know his name.
I'm gonna see it in a second. I'll be like, God damn it!
I thought maybe it's like one hit wonder.
Lunez.
Michael
Marshall.
Yeah,
Marshall.
It was 100% a.
It's mid-90s. Wow, I'm failing.
Yeah, it was mid-90s.
Mm-hmm. I pulled out Snow earlier in this, but I can't get.
No,
I got 5 on it.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one.
This is a good beer.
One.
This is the last one we have from Root Down Brewing Company.
Yes.
It's a West Coast IPA that weighs at a 6.2%, and it is the best one out of all of them.
Well, so the other thing is this is their 5-year anniversary beer, which is why it's called I Got 5 on it.
Let's just say that Kelly's interpretation was correct.
Hell yeah, I knew it.
Not spanking butts.
No, it's about weed.
I love that interpretation of this, though. Yeah. I got 5 on it, meaning a smack in the ass.
That's like a 7-year-old
I totally. No,
I love it.
That's a 7-year-old Bo's interpretation. Mine was I got older and went, oh shit, that's what that's about.
No, can you look at the video of it?
Oh, I'm sure there's a lot of asses.
There's a lot of asses. It seems like they're like spanking the air in it.
Sure, I
from
bet.
what I can remember.
They were doing that with the Yin Yang Twins in the 2000s too.
Yeah, but I mean, as a kid that watched The Box,
I'll keep the audio off so that we don't get all dinged on this.
Let's see this.
So,
the car's rolling up, an old Mercedes.
Of course.
Dude on like a Vespa.
Ooh. There's like a BMW.
New Tribe
They're
Records.
shooting pool outside, which sounds ridiculous.
There was a person in my neighborhood that had their pool table on their garage like Drew Carey did.
Yeah, but it doesn't even look like there's a rooftop over it.
Yeah.
They're out by a pool.
Maybe they're in Cleveland. Drew Carey played pool in his backyard
looks
on
like,
the Drew Carey show.
It looks like Dave Chappelle, honestly.
Yeah, except Dave Chappelle was like a baby when this came out.
Yeah. They're playing chess right now.
He wasn't actually a baby. He was like probably 19, but that girl's pants are too low.
This girl's wearing
They're playing chess. They're playing pool.
Bass suit.
These guys are out the game.
Yeah, they're playing a lot of games right now. This girl's grinding
the girl's got chains as her belt. We're just doing React videos now. Mm-hmm. And Kelly gets to watch the backside of my laptop right now.
They keep saying 5 on it.
Okay, all right. I'll give you some credit. It does sort of look like Chappelle from like 40 feet away.
Mm-hmm.
And it's mostly because
the
he's
hat.
wearing like that hat and that it's the jacket.
It's the jacket and the hat.
I think more so the jacket because Chappelle's not a big hat guy. Oh, he's got his one.
Oh, the one
pant
leg
rolled
the
up.
One pant leg rolled
Say
up.
Chappelle never did that.
Are you sure?
Never. I
There's a
could
guy that
ask
just
him and he
hopped the
maybe
fence.
did, but
Oh, now it's a whole different scene. They're in the club,
yeah.
and there's a lot of booty shaking.
There's that one girl
Grinding.
doing a lot of booty shaking.
Good for her.
So it seems like he's got $5 on the butt.
Say she's got $5 on
She
her own.
has $5 in her,
And she has
panty line.
$5.
in her butt
Yeah.
cheeks.
So
No.
it looks like it. You
No,
know.
she's got her pants on and everything.
No, I understand your misconception.
There's no marijuana in this.
No, they couldn't be. They would never have
Not
been able
on
to air it.
not on the MTVs.
A Rastafarian just walked by though.
Or yeah, this is
There it
probably
is.
more the box. You're right.
There it is.
he
say-
had a Rasta hat.
This
Yeah,
was
there it is.
absolutely the box video.
I just saw dominoes. They're now playing dominoes. They can't fucking.
Although
They can't finish a game here.
Does the video look a little cloudy? Does there seem to be a
no,
fog?
Not
this is
really.
all literally like in like
Okay.
this is probably shot like Holmby
One
Hills
night.
or somewhere like.
One day they shot all.
Oh, this is like we got this house.
Oh yeah, 100%. I just wonder if there was a haze.
This
No.
was before Airbnb. They were using
They were using
newspaper.
AOL.com.
Oh my god.
They were using
Wouldn't
the
that be a
newspaper.
great hold on, trademark. Wouldn't this be a great if we bought a house and then you rented it only for music video usage?
Yeah, you could.
Oh, you could probably do that.
You
How
need
many people would come? Yeah.
Well, on the East Coast, you could only rent it for exposure. They won't actually pay you money. They'll just guarantee you that tens of people will watch your video.
This girl's so bumping.
Every
her
time I've
ass.
ever been offered to shoot a music video on the East Coast, they're like, "Oh, I can't pay you anything, but I can get you a lot of exposure." All right, now they're in an El Dorado that was very, very smoky.
Oh, yep, he's smoking
Sam,
something.
you got to get away from the SoundCloud
or rather
rap
a
rappers.
Coupe de Ville.
Oh god.
He's on.
Yeah,
he's on a
SoundCloud
rug on the
rappers.
floor now. He's waking up and he's like, "Oh shit, what did
Yeah.
I just
Really
do?"
ties the room together.
Now
Yeah.
there's a bunch of women angry.
Sean John.
He just
in
got
the video,
kicked out of
too.
his house. What is happening
John.
in this video?
Is that Sean John? This is too early for Sean John, isn't it? Isn't that P Diddy?
It would be a
Puffy?
little. It would be a little early for sure.
Yeah.
What does that say? V4s?
V-pops.
V-pops?
V hip hops,
Okay.
something like that. V hip
There's an
hop.
ice cream truck.
Ice cream paint. Ice cream.
He's on a
paint
small
job.
Vespa.
Now they're doing burnouts.
Yeah.
On the Vespa.
On the
Yeah.
Vespa.
Now this is
a
in like
car.
this is a combination of like somewhere
wanna buy a
nicer in
Vespa.
Southern
This is
LA, and
ridiculous.
then also like
I gotta
somewhere
buy
in
a Vespa.
Inglewood.
You should.
It'd be perfect for.
You good
commute.
on gas, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking. I've been saying it as a joke for a while, but now I'm getting kind
I
of serious.
mean,
Get kind of serious. Pink, could you imagine? Right off.
I understand all you have to do to get a Vespa is win a pasta eating swimming contest, like I saw in the Disney movie Luca. You ever seen that movie?
No.
but
That's
now,
right. Your child isn't old enough yet to watch television on her own and make her own decisions about it. Just wait for that. Guess how many times I've seen the movie Frozen in the last year? Go ahead, guess.
I don't
I don't
want
know,
to
you
know.
have a
If there
son.
are 365 days in a year, I've probably seen that movie actually like 80 or 90 times.
Damn.
Yep, I believe that.
We watched Alice in Wonderland the other day.
Like Disney
The
Alice in
original?
Wonderland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know
Yeah.
it was filmed in 1951?
Yes,
Yeah.
I do. I know a lot about
That's
Disney
insane.
animation.
Because
I'm-
it doesn't it seem like a 60s, 70s film?
No, it was early
with
Disney.
all the like LSD and mushroom references.
knowing what eras of Disney were when, I could see that. I mean, obviously Jefferson Airplane lends itself to the psychedelic nature of C.S.
Rabbit.
Lewis stuff too.
Yeah,
But
that's early 60s though, right?
Yeah. Well, late 60s, mid 60s, late 60s is the whole feed your head thing.
You know, I have that tattooed on me.
You do?
Feed your head, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
thought you just ripped your shirt.
And
I was
these
like, damn.
these little symbols right here,
Uh-huh.
next to my never ending story statues on either side.
Yeah.
These little symbols come from a tie-dye shirt that had the caterpillar on a mushroom smoking.
A hookah smoking
There was
caterpillar.
there was a tie-dye shirt, like an old vintage shirt, Alice in Wonderland shirt. These symbols came from there. And that says
Awesome.
feed your head.
The shirt every kid in art class in high school used
I ate
to
a
wear.
bunch of acid back in the day.
Yeah. Happens to many.
Yeah.
Not an experience I ever had myself.
You're too old for it now. Don't do it.
No, I know that.
No,
That's
no,
what
no.
I mean. I never had. That was a definitive statement. But I
Feed your head.
I appreciated the psychedelia of the 60s in analyzing that kind of counterculture. I love like 60s counterculture stuff, but never dove that far into it.
Stick to the naturals, man.
Yeah.
All natural.
Yeah. Phoenixville has some great memories of that too. What up, Bobby?
Who's Bobby?
Bobby's an old friend of mine who used to live in Phoenixville, and I actually just missed his birthday party yesterday.
Oh.
He's a 4th of July baby, and I
Happy
should have just
birthday,
celebrated Bobby.
Shout
Good
out
old-
to you, Bobby.
Good old Bobby Waterman.
Damn.
He would listen to this too if I sent it to him because
Send
he's
it to
that
him.
cool.
Yeah.
But he used to live. He's the one that lived on Bridge Street in Phoenixville, literally across from the Colonial, and I would go hang out there, and we'll just say it was very natural.
Oh yeah.
I got 5 on it.
It's been a while.
It's been a whirl.
All right, well, let's end this podcast because this was fun and serious at some points too, which I really don't mind being serious sometimes.
Gotta use the platform a little bit.
Yeah.
Raise some awareness.
These episodes are getting much more concentrated now, so we have to bundle it all in there.
Yeah. We gotta not wait 3 months.
I agree.
Agreed.
I know we had a busy,
I agree.
especially busy couple of months.
I would
but
like to
yes.
have like a game night, honestly, and have you guys.
But
over.
we would be remiss if we didn't talk about the last time I saw you.
Oh fuck! It was in my notes too.
Yeah, I know it was in mine too.
Okay.
So
Not over.
it's not over. Just kidding. We have one more thing to say.
I have more beer in my cooler we can drink.
I've got a whole fridge full. No, we went. What was it like?
2 weeks ago.
2 or 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we went over to Love Drafts because Terry brewed up a special brew of Precisely for Mug Club members, which we are. Holla holla.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Precisely brewed with like a shit ton
Marshmallows.
of little marshmallows. Yeah.
I got
tasted
tagged,
really
but I
good.
wasn't cool enough to be a Mug Club member.
No, he probably
Dude,
just
if you
would
would've
have
came, I would've-
Yeah.
I know. I
I
didn't.
would have gave you sips.
Yeah.
I didn't have time.
I know.
Yeah.
That's all right. We barely had time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
We
saw
kinda-
each other for like 15
we
minutes.
kinda
and we're like,
snuck into that.
Let's record a podcast.
Okay, I
Aw.
felt really fucking cool though because I was like,
I
hey,
felt cooler.
no,
All right, keep
because
going.
he was like, yeah, we're not letting anybody in now. It's no general service. We got a show tonight, and I was like, yeah, but my beer's on tap. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Say, Bo just walked in and said, "How's it going, everybody?"
And they were
walked-
like, shit.
Well, I walked in
Let 'em in.
and Justin saw me, the owner.
I didn't see Justin.
of
that was
Love
the
Drafts,
problem.
and he
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you guys here for the show?" I said, "No, I'm here for our beer." And he's like, "Oh, well, they're gonna charge you." And I was like, "I actually called like an hour before, and they said they wouldn't charge. Like, I can just sit outside." He's like, "No, whoever you talked to was like didn't know what they were talking about."
Damn.
I was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Don't worry about it. I'll get you in." So he like just got us wristbands and let us in. And I was like, "All right, cool." And then we're like walking to the back bar anyway to be away from the music because
Right.
it was like a sold out show.
Yeah, it was a big show.
It was packed.
It was the queers.
Oh, sick!
It was fucking sick.
Oh man, I should have been there anyway.
I caught like two.
just for them.
Yeah, I caught like 2 queer songs. I was like,
Oh.
this is kind of cool, actually.
Fucking love the queers. I would have loved.
There was a
to
lot
have
of
been
old
there.
people there though.
Well, yeah, it's
Hell
old
yeah.
punk.
It's
Yeah.
old punk. That's like 80s punk.
It's
It was like
old.
That's kick-ass
50-year-olds.
Oh yeah, and they still had their battle jackets on too.
My
It was
brother's
weird.
band opened for them one time at Champ down in Lemoyne.
I felt like the youngest
So
person
fun.
there. It was weird.
Oh,
It was a
no,
good time,
that would have
though.
been a freaking blast.
It looked like it was going to be fun. I had my pint and left. It was
Yeah.
good. Anyway, back
Either way, the beer was really good.
beer was so
With
fucking
Our,
good.
marshmallows.
our beer is a sour beer, right? It's
Uh-huh.
very sour. With marshmallows, it cut all that sour, and it was just very sweet.
It was very creamy.
Yeah.
So it's like when we put the vanilla ice cream in.
That's
but
what
we
I was
didn't-
gonna say,
But we
yeah.
didn't have to wait for it to fizzle down. Because like,
Okay.
remember when we put the ice cream in, it would kind of like foam up and sit
As
there for a
floats
while.
tend to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you like had to like drink the foam before you got to the beer.
It was
which
very
like-
good.
Honestly, I'm just impressed how much Precisely has been available at Love Drafts. 'cause
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I thought this thing would have been kicked a long time
Well,
ago.
no,
Well-
he saved one. Remember when we brewed? He said he saved one keg.
Well, but I was there in April.
There was
Four-
only a couple
4 months
cans
ago.
left. Yeah.
4 months ago. It's July.
May.
Okay, so
April, May, June, July.
All right, fair enough. There are 4 months
3
between them.
About.
But no, what I can tell you exactly what day it was. It was
They had it precisely.
There was still some in the case the last time I was there, and that was probably either late April.
I was there for drag brunch in April.
Oh, yes.
And I had precisely that day. That's all I really remember. But
That looked like
because I sent you guys the picture of Sonya Blade that day.
Yeah.
Yes, that looked like a great
still have
show.
a 4-pack
I want to go.
left.
I had.
I have some in there. I'm still holding on.
I
I owe Mike some. Mike,
I
if you're
will
listening,
say
I have
the
some.
ones that I didn't refrigerate exploded on me.
Oh my god, I forgot to tell you. Did they
Wait, really?
Yes. Okay.
They really exploded.
Okay.
Oh,
I forgot,
shit, I need to
forgot
check my shed.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you. So, Scott apparently gave my in-laws a can, and I didn't realize this, but he texted me the other day and was like, "Hey, look at this," and they, I don't know why, didn't drink it. They just put it on their TV stand in their like our entertainment center in their living room, and it purple
See.
all over their living room carpet, all over their walls.
Dude, I bet they hate us.
I felt so. I was like, "What am I
Have
supposed
we
to
checked
do?
our
I'm
reviews
so
lately?
bad."
Because they're probably like giving us 1-star reviews on our podcast. now.
I had a few left, and I took them to work to offer them to some of my friends at work that would appreciate a good beer like that. And I had one left.
Oh my
and
God,
I had
I
it
gotta
sitting
go.
on my desk, like, oh, it's a cool like decoration of my cool beer can. And I know, but mine didn't pop because I look at it all the time, and I'm
Right.
like, if I'm really that interested, I'm going to take it and drink it anyway.
Right.
But I
If
had
you
this
see it
one
bulging
can, and I
up.
picked it up the one day, and I noticed that the bottom was getting a little questionable. So I
What do
took
you
it.
mean? What was it looking like?
Like the can was swelling a little bit.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
So-
the picture of the top of that can was like, you know, like when
Yeah.
you leave a beer in the freezer for too long and
I
it pops
definitely
up.
have to check my.
So I
shed.
took it
Holy
down
shit.
to my sink and emptied it. But I had 2 or 3 more refrigerated until last week. We finished the ones that I had just last week,
So I should.
and
probably
those
drink
were
these.
perfect.
Yes, the ones once I had enough room, or once I had enough that would fit in my fridge, I stuck them all in the fridge. So none of them have been out since probably April for me, except for that one, because I was like, "What the hell happened?" I was like, "It looks like they left it in the freezer." And he was like, "No, it was just sitting on their entertainment center." And I was like, "Is the
PS4
TV
kiosk is in my shed too. Fuck, I gotta get that.
Yeah, but if you were just out there, you'd have probably
No,
noticed.
you would know.
Yeah.
It would have happened
But if
well
it-
before.
But it's
This
like
was
the PSP batteries, exploding.
Oh, yeah,
Like they all happen
Yeah.
around the same time. So I need to go out there.
Well, I would check. but-
Well, yes,
Do you think it's safe to put it in the fridge?
probably. I think if it's not bulging, I would stick it in the fridge.
Okay.
Because I only have a couple left. Like I said, I was saving a couple for Mike. I gave one. That reminds me, Carl, Retro Gaming Zone, stopped by the shop.
Yeah.
Got to meet him. I gave him one of those. He gave me a lager from Virginia where he and, what's his name? Is it Retro Wolf? We're hanging out. Anyway, it was really cool to meet him. So, Carl, shout out to you. If you're not following him, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
Really salt of the earth guy. Glad to be friends with him. But I gave him a beer, and it was fine. I just gave my friend a beer to the cookout he had on Saturday when I went to see him.
all the other ones
they
I had
were all
were fine.
refrigerated. Yeah, and
These
then
were
like
the
we're
ones
in
that
a
I
cooler.
left.
Yeah,
I had never put them in the fridge
Right.
either, or anywhere cold. They had been in my basement, which is like relatively humidity controlled for what it's worth. But then I took them to my office, and that was where I noticed it. And this
So-
was a while ago already
Yeah.
that happened. So like, if it hasn't happened,
Did any explode? Or
no, because like I said, I had them there to like kind of look at.
Yeah, that's scary.
And
well, I also think like I didn't know that he gave them one, and I didn't know that they weren't going to drink it. I would have just given them an empty one. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? But at the same time, like,
Do you have labels? Because I have labels.
I have
yeah,
labels.
I think I have labels too, but I can also, whatever. But anyway, but I was like, it was also like not a not professionally, but like not a factory sealed.
Well,
beer.
yeah, I'd say this is not meant to speak ill of the beer itself.
No, this is-
we were expecting that
it
like, 'cause
should have been drank in a couple of months.
That's
yes.
what I was
Yeah.
going to say is
Yeah.
like I made sure to like go through with my office friends. I was like, look, I'm not just offering you this beer that you're going to like have a novelty sitting there. Oh, this was Sam's beer. drink this
Right.
because you should.
Right, yeah.
Like if you're not going to drink it, don't take one.
Right.
Yeah.
If you want a can, I'll give you a can. I don't care. But,
Right. No,
you know,
I'm the idiot that left it sitting on my desk and found that out.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you said that. That
talking
reminded
about
me.
Precisely and talking about love drafts, Kelly and Sam, we should hit up Justin and Venus and see if we can do a Mario Kart thing.
Heck yeah.
I would love to. Yeah. I would absolutely love to.
Yeah.
I'm trying to hype that.
I'll do that tomorrow.
So, also speaking of love drafts, my friend just texted me. He is brewing a beer with them right now, and it is gonna be probably
Who is it? The Penguin guy?
Penguin Comics and
Does
love
he have
drafts.
does he have a store or what?
He's in Daydream with me.
Nice.
Okay.
That's his location, but he has so much shit. It's
Yeah.
so good, and he does a lot of online sales too. So he does really good for himself.
That's cool.
But yeah, so be on the lookout for that. It's gonna be. I don't know what the brew is. I know they're probably gonna do a trivia. It sounds like as a release party,
Cool.
like nerd trivia, which will be awesome. But
That's
I will
interesting.
I'll definitely promote that once that comes up. But I was really excited. He said they just started brewing the other day, and I'm really pumped to see how it turns out.
Cool.
I'm glad that they could work with him. Corey's an awesome dude, and he knows his comic shit.
Yeah,
So that's
that's
really
great.
cool. But yeah, I'm itching to get back over there. Like I have had no free time, and all I want to do is just sit down and have a beer over there, in the worst way.
Yeah. Me
I
too.
recommend that place to like everybody that
Oh,
I talk
absolutely,
to.
absolutely.
I was just trying to say my same uncle that I mentioned before we opened the podcast is like, dude, we got to go to drag brunch. Like he'd
I wanna
have
go
so
so bad.
much fun.
I want to go so bad.
Yeah, their drag brunch is so fun. They do one every month. Shout out to Callie Couture.
Yeah, she's
Fantastic
good.
shows.
She's good.
I also want to find a night where they don't have an event going on
That too.
Yeah, just chill.
because I like just hanging out with friends and not seeing a show or not like
Being inundated with
They do
the
have a
people.
lot of good shows though.
they
coming
have
up,
great
but
shows.
Yeah.
That's cool, but like sometimes you just want to go to a bar and enjoy
No, I
the
agree.
bartender, enjoy the friends that you're with, enjoy the video games that they have. You
No,
know?
I agree.
Heck yeah.
And not be charged to go through the door.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think we'll have to find a night that we're all free that
Yeah.
might be with nothing scheduled.
Like
or-
a weeknight, maybe.
Yeah, probably. But yeah,
All right, well, let's end this here.
yeah. Yes, thank you again, Mike, Root Down Brewing.
Yes,
Appreciate
thank you.
you.
Root Down, you're my new favorite beer.
We
Or
will
brewery.
we will definitely plan a trip out. I'll have to text him and see when we all can sneak away from life and
Yes.
go check it out again, because it was. I really would love to spend more time there and
Yeah.
get some food.
Let's
It
do a
looked
day
really
trip.
good. Yeah, so good. So I appreciate the beer, and I appreciate the support
Yeah,
both for the store and the podcast. It's really cool.
absolutely.
So make sure if you're kind of local, or if you're passing through on your way to Philly, it's on the way to Philly. So check out Root Down Brewing Company,
Or just follow them on Instagram at
Yeah.
Root Down Brewing.
Brewing Co. I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And thank you, Kelly and Sam, for doing the podcast with us.
Hell yeah.
With me.
Heck yeah.
I miss doing it. We'll have to do this again sooner than 3 months for sure.
Yeah, maybe a month.
Yeah, we gotta make a content calendar here. Apparently,
Something,
we're
yeah.
getting too busy.
Yeah. I'm busy watching Baby, which isn't watching Baby. It's just being with Baby while my wife does other things too. Like we both navigate each other's lives and say, hey, you can do this. Hey, you can do that. And
I'm glad that Kayla's getting to do theater stuff though.
me
I
too.
am too.
The
She's
whole
so
reason I'm
happy.
even sitting on this couch right now is because Kayla does theater stuff. And then
yeah.
I do theater stuff. So
Yeah,
There you
theater
go.
cool she's getting to
kids.
do that.
That's true. Yeah. We met at a party.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Next time, let's take a dive into what's going on with the market.
Sounds good.
All right.
I like that.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Drink another beer if you're still listening. And have a good night.
Cheers.
Cheers. We out.
We out.
We out.